It's noon. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It is Friday, July 17th, and I'm Adam Roberts in for Greg Matzik. Your top story this hour, another person ending their campaign for governor.
I'm Sandy Max in for Jessica Ty, pushing back on election interference claims.
We do have an extension on our air quality alert. It now runs until 6 this evening for all of our area. The smoke is still very much present. It's hot, it's humid, a high of 91 today with a chance for afternoon storms. Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 75. Right now, it's 85 and smoky in Milwaukee at 12 o'clock on the dot. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it is the big news this hour. Decision, Wisconsin. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez is dropping out of the gubernatorial race. This following a busy week for the lieutenant governor, including the firing of her campaign manager earlier this week.
I got into this race because I wanted what was best for Wisconsin, and that hasn't changed. And because I believe that, I cannot, in good conscience, allow these questions to become a cloud over an election that Democrats need to win.
Rodriguez, in a statement posted on her socials, did not offer an endorsement of a Democratic candidate. The move leaves 4 Democrats in the field ahead of the August 11th primary, including Mandela Barnes, Francesca Hong, Joel Brennan, and Kelda Royce.
A Franklin strip club tied to a years-long sex trafficking investigation is one step closer to closing doors.
After nearly 6 hours of testimony, the Franklin Common Council voted 3-2 Thursday to revoke the liquor and entertainment licenses for On the Border Gentlemen's Club. Michael Levine is the attorney for the owners.
They have made changes to further enforce the rules that have always been in place at On the Border. Very serious consequences for those that break the rules, which is that they are terminated and asked to leave.
Attorney Nick Serwin represents the Franklin Police Department.
You can't buy your way to say we're good folks just because we donate money when you don't do anything at the bar to ensure that people aren't being victimized and women aren't being trafficked.
Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Following President Trump's primetime speech last night on election security, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullen says DHS has identified over 250,000 potential non-citizens that illegally registered to vote in 4 U.S. states. ABC's Pierre Thomas reporting on pushback from state officials.
So far, state officials are pushing back hard, and they're making clear that there's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. That is their words. That's their analysis. Number 2, officials are talking about the fact that many of the items that were mentioned by President Trump and now being repeated by Secretary of the Homeland Security are information, involve information that's already been put out. The information about China, for example, gaining access to voter registration files.
It is still unclear how DHS conducted its preliminary review of voting records.
After months of criticism, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche met with several survivors of deceased convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's crimes.
The meeting did not go well, according to Annie Farmer, survivor of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's abuse, who testified at her criminal trial. Farmer said Blanche was, quote, abrasive, condescending, and intentionally non-committal to survivors, and added that she's even more confident in urging senators to vote against his confirmation. The meeting came after Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina, whose vote is needed to secure Blanche's confirmation as the next attorney general, said he would require Blanche to sit down with Epstein's victims before he could vote for him. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
And a wild weather week for Wisconsin continues today. It began with another heat dome and ends with smoky skies. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson.
A cold front could pop a couple additional showers, maybe a rumble of thunder early on Saturday, but most of the day is looking dry, and we won't see our next opportunity for showers and thunderstorms until we get to Monday.
We are, of course, tracking wind shifts as well. The Storm Team 4 team says a wind shift could come late Saturday and bring smoke back across Wisconsin. We'll have your full 5-day forecast coming up in about 4 minutes. First, news about your money. WTMJ's Annex Wealth Management Market Update. At this hour, all down on Wall Street. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 all in the red to begin the afternoon. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. More details at annexwealth.com. The Brewers also monitoring the skies ahead of their return to the diamond tonight. We'll have that, plus the roads in your forecast up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 12:04.
Trying to keep up with the 21st century can really get you down. When you need a break, come to Kessler's.
We'll turn your day around.
We have good air conditioning.
And we love making new friends.
The coffee's better than average.
Because we want you to come back again.
We want to be your jeweler.
My father told you for 29 years that he wanted to be your jeweler.
He put that desire in everyone he hired.
And then he gave us the company.
He transformed our lives and gave us the most fun job on earth.
It's easy to sell jewelry when you sell it for less than it's worth.
Come and take a look at our engagement rings.
And of course, we have thousands of other things.
When you're having an overcast day, come to Kessler's.
We're going to turn your day around.
Free jewelry cleaning done by world-class professionals.
While you drink your good coffee in a room full of diamonds and gold.
Makes you feel better, no matter what you've been told.
One thing you definitely want to see before you're done
is our exclusive Kessler 81.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Set sail on an unforgettable adventure with Royal Caribbean. During the Fox exclusive July sale, you can lock in the best dates and rates for your next cruise. Experience maximum thrills and chill at sea with world-class dining, jaw-dropping entertainment, and stunning destinations from the Caribbean to Alaska. Book now to enjoy stackable discounts and secure your cabin only at Fox World Travel. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Don't wait. The sale ends July 24th.
Abbey Window.
Are you looking to upgrade your home with a new bath, windows, roofing, or siding? At Abbey Home, we're proud to stand for the flag and celebrate America's 250th birthday. For 250 years, Americans have believed in hard work, quality craftsmanship, and taking pride in home ownership. And so do we. That's why we're offering 25% off all projects. That's 25% off all projects. Let our family help improve your home with products built to last and service you can trust. Call Abbey Home today. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Back to action tonight for your Milwaukee Brewers out of the All-Star break. First of three scheduled tonight at American Family Field against the Marlins, but the Brewers are monitoring the air quality in and around the city of Milwaukee. Earlier today, Brewers President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger on Wisconsin's Morning News says as of now, the game is scheduled to go on.
If things deteriorate or don't improve, we may have to deal with that. And obviously the most important thing is the health of our fans, our players, and our employees.
Major League Baseball ultimately will make the deciding call. Our coverage of tonight's game begins right after the 6 o'clock news here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. And action this hour in the Open Championship overseas across the pond. Lucas Herbert has jumped to the top of the leaderboard with an 8 under par to score for day. Actually, a very nice round of 62. And a couple shots ahead of the American Cameron Young and fellow American Jackson Suber, both at 6 under, tied in the second spot. This golf update is sponsored by Morningstar Golfers Club, lush green fairways, and velvet smooth greens. Play your next round at Morningstar. Visit golfthestar.com today. To the roads now, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Heads up on 4145 South. We've got the left shoulder blocked to a crash just a couple minutes ago. This is going to be right around Hampton, and this is an area we do see delays pretty typically this time of day. Right now, they're pretty heavy from Good Hope Road all the way down to the crash site. We've also got a broken down vehicle on the ramp from Burleigh to the freeway heading northbound, so delays from there going south to about Highway 100. Our only other slow spot right now is going to be right around the stadium, 94 east and west between 35th Street and Mitchell Boulevard. You'll be on the brakes. Past those points, you are good to go.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast. An air quality alert has been extended until 6 p.m. today. Smoky, hot, humid smoke disperses this afternoon gradually. A chance for an afternoon pop-up storm. High 91 today. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 75. Saturday, and early rain, then warm and humid. Potential return of wildfire smoke tomorrow afternoon, high 89. Sunday, sunshine, cooler, less humid, high 83. Monday, a chance for showers and storms, hot and humid, high 90. And then Tuesday, sunshine, high 84. Right now in Milwaukee, mostly sunny, 87 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ news time is 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts. In for Greg Matzik, it's Adam Roberts. And in for Jessica Ty, it's Sandy Max.
Yes, indeed, Adam and Sandy with you on a Friday, a very, very, very busy Friday, especially in the last couple of hours, Sandy. It has been a whirlwind in the political world for sure.
Indeed. It's fun when you set the show plan and you know what you're going to talk about news-wise, and then breaking news happens. So the evolution in the Democratic gubernatorial race.
And that's where we begin right now.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Yes, indeed. That's where we start with these major gubernatorial moves happening in our state today. You heard at the top of the hour news there, Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez moving this morning to drop out of the race for governor. This is less than a week after firing her campaign manager over reporting errors. Also came a couple days after a roller coaster of finance reporting ups and downs with cash on hand. You heard from the Lieutenant Governor in the news. Now hear from another candidate. Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes finding out in real time a few hours ago as he was taping an interview for Channel 12's Upfront program with Matt Smith and Jaron Jordan here.
Rodriguez just dropped out, so we want to kind of I want to get your reaction to that, actually. What'd you say?
Well, that changes things. That changes things, as you said.
That changes things indeed.
A showstopper there.
So the question now, how does this ultimately shake up this field of four? You have Joel Brennan and Kelda Roys who have been jockeying for press conferences and media avails all week this week. And some are also now questioning what this means for someone who recently dropped out of the race, that being Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, who did, of course, back Rodriguez before all of this news broke late this week. So multiple outlets reporting there is a move to potentially get Crowley back into the race. Nothing official yet from the county executive. He's been very quiet most of this week. However, former candidate Missy Hughes, who also offered Rodriguez her endorsement, has posted on socials calling for Crowley to re-enter the race. We have reached out to his team, have not yet heard back, but we are on top of it today and have many people who will be able to give us more information as it comes in.
Following those insights. And number two, outside the past few days, looked a lot more like London fog than July sunshine. Southeastern Wisconsin has been dealing with one of the worst wildfire smoke events on record as smoke from the Canadian wildfires continues to drift across us here in the Great Lakes region. Thursday, Milwaukee's air quality index peaked at 644, the highest ever recorded in our city, before remaining in the hazardous range again this morning. I'm sure you've been experiencing the itchy eyes and scratchy throat. Well, WTMJ Chief Meteorologist Craig Copleen says today will be a day of gradual improvement. Air quality should slowly improve from west to east, which means Milwaukee and the Lake Michigan shoreline will be the last places to clear out. Conditions improving later this afternoon, but tonight still likely to be in level 3. That is unhealthy for sensitive groups and stay that way till Saturday morning. Unfortunately, that's not the end of it. Smoke is expected to thicken again late Saturday morning and could return to healthy or even very unhealthy levels throughout the weekend. With those hazardous conditions still possible, the Milwaukee area could be back up to unhealthy level 4 or even 5 for Saturday night and Sunday. So as you make your plans, health officials do continue to urge kids, older adults, pregnant people, anyone with asthma, COPD, and heart disease, stay indoors as much as possible. This can really exacerbate your symptoms, and even healthy adults should limit strenuous outdoor activity. This might not be the time to, hey, I'm going to mow all back 40. If you notice coughing, irritated eyes, shortness of breath, really do pay attention to your health this weekend.
Yeah, I just checked my app I have on my phone. 389 where we currently sit downtown, which admittedly is better than yesterday when we were setting records, but still very awful.
Still tough to even see the skyline.
And we have reaction continuing to follow in this afternoon following President Trump's televised address to the nation on Thursday evening.
We still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness.
The president immediately moving after the speech to release classified documents related to the 2020 and 2018 elections when he lost to then President Joe Biden and suffered losses in 2018. Did not raise any doubts in the speech about election wins in 2016 or 2024. Did a cursory review of these documents. They don't seem to contain any substantive references to Wisconsin, but it does come as the FBI has interviewed Milwaukee election officials who helped administer that 2020 election. So we're on top of this as well, and we'll get some analysis and perspective from Dr. Julia Azari from Marquette University coming up just after the 1:15 window later on in the show. It's 12:14 on WTMJ. We continue, of course, to follow the Sarah Rodriguez news. We'll get some perspective from Kristen Bry, who just got finished with Point Taken. That's up next.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Start the second half of the Brewers season with a stacked series against the Marlins. The whole city's invited to celebrate Noche de Cerveceros Friday, July 17th. Then get the latest Brandon Woodruff Brewers bobblehead, courtesy of PNC Bank, Saturday the 18th. Treat the family to a summer Sunday at the ballpark for Paw Patrol Day on the 19th. Plus, family vibes are through the roof with special kids activities every Sunday. Get your tickets at brewers.com.
1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Every child in foster care deserves someone who believes in them. That's why La Causa is looking for more foster parents.
They never really checked on me, and that's why I appreciate La Causa tremendously, because they were the ones that showed me we care. I met my La Causa team, all brilliant people, and people that wanted to see me succeed.
That kind of care can change a life. Learn how you can become a foster parent with La Causa at lacausa.org.
Now the smoke remains. We may get some relief today with a front moving through. It will mean temperatures are going to be on the rise, though, as well. Expected high today in the low 90s. We do still have an air quality alert until 6 this evening for all of southeast Wisconsin. 75 your overnight low, and then maybe a chance for some showers, but the return of that smoke tomorrow with an 89-degree high. Right now, 86 in Milwaukee as we sit here at 12:17.
I got into this race because I wanted what was best for Wisconsin, and that hasn't changed. And because I believe that, I cannot, in good conscience, allow these questions to become a cloud over an election that Democrats need to win.
Former Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez just a few hours ago announcing the official end to her gubernatorial campaign. Notably in the statement, she didn't exactly say word for word she was dropping out, but did later confirm in later social media posts. So I wanted to bring in Kristen Bry from WTMJ's Point Taken, and you've got a big smile, but I know that this last couple hour period has been, to put it mildly, a whirlwind.
And I think this will continue for the rest of the day, if not the weekend, as far as what does this mean, as far as there's rumors of Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley getting back in. Do any of the top officials in the state, like a Tony Evers, endorse a candidate after saying they wouldn't endorse a candidate? Do big donors start getting involved? Like, there's a lot of things at play, I think, now of opportunities to put your thumb on the scale and who decides to do it or not to do it.
This truly is a shakeup with the primary, August 11th, early voting can happen 2 weeks before that. So I mean,
people are voting right now. People got their, if you requested your absentee ballot, if you go in and check, I want the absentee ballots for the year, you've gotten your ballot. Some people have mailed it in. The Wisconsin Election Commission voted, I think it was last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, that you cannot go and back and change your vote if you have already put your ballot in. So as Steve and I have been joking, maybe don't vote yet. If you have your ballot, just have it sitting there.
Yeah, because if you've requested an absentee ballot and haven't turned it in, you can show up in person.
Yes,
and,
of course.
And make
so
your
if you
choice.
Bring, like I've done that
once
before,
you've already mailed it in, though.
Once you've mailed it in, it
decided.
is done. Yes.
So what about the state Democratic Party too, Kristen? Because we talk about the term discombobulated. That came up in the break a couple of times, and it certainly feels the state party right now given what has just been an insane week, is kind of trying to scramble a little bit here.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily their role to be picking a candidate, right? Like there should be communication to Democratic voters from Devin Remacher and the party at large as far as like back your candidate, make sure you vote, keep your eye on the prize as far as what the end goal is, obviously for Democrats, which is to beat Tom Tiffany in the fall. So I don't think there is, whipping of votes or anything like that from the party, but at least communicating and being a little bit more out there, having some kind of message probably wouldn't hurt.
On the Crowley front, do you think he gets in without that Evers endorsement? Because the window's there for him to say, I didn't know what I know now, and I'm back in, but it would really be nice to have that from the state's highest ranking official.
I was certainly, yeah, of course. But I also then don't know the reaction to certain voters of people meddling in the campaign, right? And that it's seeming like, I think this is a knock on Democrats that dates back 10 years as far as people still mad about Bernie Sanders and how he was treated compared to Hillary Clinton. People angry in 2024 as far as Kamala Harris being anointed. And you can have all these kind of back and forth of, well, and this and that, and why it wasn't really that. But on its face, sometimes I think it's not an unfair criticism that for a party that constantly talks about protecting democracy, there are accusations of how they have picked candidates for voters instead of letting voters pick the candidate.
And what is the scrutiny now on cash? Because now managing money has affected Sarah Rodriguez's campaign, has affected Francesca Hong's campaign. There's a real scrutiny on that. Is that going to continue?
There's certainly scrutiny. I mean, I think Tiffany put out a tweet yesterday as far as critiquing Mandela Barnes, critiquing Francesca Hong. And obviously, Sarah Rodriguez's situation is specifically with her campaign versus personal issues that were for Barnes and Francesca before they ran. But I think, this is, how do I want to put voters in Wisconsin? I think there's a reason why there's a running joke for Wisconsinites when someone compliments you on your dress, they go, "I got it on sale." I would say we're a little bit more frugal at times, and I think value good money management, especially when it comes to taxpayer money. So it's certainly a critique that will continue to be made if either Barnes or Francesca become the candidate.
When we talk about voters, how does this decision by Sarah Rodriguez affect all of the donors and backers for her?
Well, I'm sure they're incredibly disappointed right now.
So
I mean, she was a top. She was. I mean, I think it was kind of assumed that she was in the top 3 as far as front runners, and so it was. I mean, she did have real money that was donated to her. She did have real support, and so I'm sure, as much as it sounds like she was surprised as things came crashing down, obviously there's a lot of people who were very excited to vote for her or already have voted for her that are disappointed.
This obviously, I'll ask you, it is contingent on potential Crowley news down the road. But just where we sit right now, it's a field of 4. You have Mandela Barnes, Francesca Hong, Joel Brennan, and Kelda Roys making that field up. We've seen, as I mentioned before you came on, Brennan and Roys in particular have been jockeying at any opportunity they could get these last few days, whether it's doing interviews on WTMJ or doing press conferences. I believe Joel's actually doing one right now.
He is, yeah.
Is there a window, a realistic one, to make this from a seemingly field of 2 to everyone's got an opportunity?
At this point, I think you could say anything is possible. And I do think there's something as far as what Steve and I get paid to do. When we have Joe on here, we had Jake Curtis in today. Obviously, Bill's usually here. There's a lot of people who are in the business of being experts, but then there are some times that I think you just don't know, because obviously the Marquette Law School poll, they stopped calling 2 days ago, so the poll that they're going to come out with doesn't really mean much anymore. I think there's a lot of polling out there that as quickly as things are moving, the ability to actually get a snapshot of how the average Democratic primary voter is feeling right now is very, very, very hard to gauge. And anyone who is trying to tell you with 100% certainty they know what's going to happen is lying.
So, Kristen, what are you going to be watching for the rest of today as these things unfold? What are some...
Certainly Crowley. I mean, I think that's a big thing as far as if you're online right now, how many people are talking about that. And what moves as far as any potential for like a big donation that could come in? Because so far as we've seen the financial numbers come in, there's been a lot of donations for Tom Tiffany. He's outraised all of the candidates, the Democratic candidates combined. But that's largely not because there isn't lots of money to be donated for Democrats. It's that the big donors have stayed out of it thus far because they haven't known who to back.
Sure.
And so if someone comes in and donates a lot of money where all of a sudden someone can have a much more aggressive ad campaign for these last couple weeks, that could also make a big difference.
WTMJ's Kristen Bry. Thanks for sticking around after the show. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate it. 12:25 on WTMJ. We've obviously got a lot more on this today. Adam and Sandy with you till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Going to hear from Dr. Julia Azari, Marquette University political science professor. We originally...
I say we had her booked.
Had her booked on the president's speech and reaction and analysis for that. Maybe do a little 1-2 combo, obviously, with this news breaking today. We'll get her perspective, as well as the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's Jesse Apoyan, who did some of the initial reporting within the last few hours on that potential Crowley reentry into the race. We'll get her perspective and what she knows from boots on the ground reporting coming up later on in the 2 o'clock hour. It's 12:26 on WTMJ. We got news coming up next.
Save big on your outdoor projects when you shop at Menards. Build a stronger deck with pressure-treated thick decking. It's 15% thicker than standard decking and available in green-treated or premium cedar tone with a beautiful brown color pressurized into the wood. You can design the deck of your dreams with our free, easy-to-use Deck Designer in-store and on Menards.com. Plus, check out the weekly flyer and view all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, maybe a game-winning touchdown or a buzzer-beating three. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for the beautiful Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action, all the games in an unbelievable space with dozens of sports betting kiosks. Great drinks, luxurious seating, great food, a wonderful atmosphere, and a monster 2,000 square foot video wall at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 years or older to enter the casino.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine. That's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
I'm Libby Collins. This week on WTMJ Conversations, we talk with the former director of music at the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, Ken David Marceur.
We would witness every week during our rehearsals that more and more people would gather for the Monday demonstrations. And of course, then in October, there was order given from the government to shoot down protesters.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, "I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house." Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
It's 12:30. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 17th. I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, the latest shakeup to Wisconsin's gubernatorial race.
I'm Sandy Max. A weekend highway closure for drivers in Waukesha County.
Air quality alert continuing until 6 this evening due to our Canadian wildfire smoke. High of 91 today. It'll be humid with the smoke as well.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Canada says it's doing all it can to put out those fires.
We have over 100 aircraft in the air, combinations of helicopter, water bombers, and airplane water bombers as well.
Toronto Premier Doug Ford has nearly 900 fires sent smoke all across the continent. New Jersey handing out masks at rest areas on the Turnpike and Parkway as the smoke persists. FIFA now monitoring for any impact on Sunday's World Cup final in New Jersey. The CDC says bag lettuce in grocery stores is not part of the bad batch of iceberg making people sick. They suspect lettuce sold to Taco Bell in 5 states, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen just threatened to withhold federal money from states that don't investigate their voters for possible election fraud. He also threatened criminal penalties against election officials. Tsunami warning for Mexico and Guatemala from a quake and aftershocks this morning. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 12:31. Decision Wisconsin. Big news today. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez dropping out of the gubernatorial race.
I got into this race because I wanted what was best for Wisconsin, and that hasn't changed. And because I believe that, I cannot, in good conscience, allow these questions to become a cloud over an election that Democrats need to win.
The Rodriguez news follows the firing of her campaign manager earlier this week. That move now leaving 4 Democrats currently in the field ahead of the August 11th primary, including Mandela Barnes, Francesca Hong, Jill Brennan, and Kelda Roys.
Decision Wisconsin. Questions about public safety are top of mind for the candidates running to replace Governor Evers this fall. Democratic gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong clarifies to Wisconsin's Afternoon News her position on police funding.
I do not believe that police funding should go away, and I do not think that the police can be abolished. Right now, I am focused not on governing by slogan, but passing the policies that we know will ensure that people, all of our communities, feel safe.
Hong is one of 4 candidates running for the Democratic nomination that will face Republican frontrunner Congressman Tom Tiffany in the partisan primary election, August 11th.
Heads up for drivers in Waukesha County this weekend. The State Department of Transportation will be closing the Rock Freeway. This for pavement replacement beginning this evening at 7 o'clock. The closure starting at Wisconsin Highway 164 between County ES and Woodland Lane. Access to the Big Bend Park and Ride Lot will be open. As always, all work is weather dependent. We have more details online at WTMJ.com.
Reckless driving crashes in Milwaukee have taken the lives of 4 people over the past week. Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge David Borowski is looking for solutions. He tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Everyone learns that when they're a teenager, when they're early in their driving career, that you don't flee the scene, no matter how bad the situation is, even if someone's been hit or injured or worse. So there's a lack of personal responsibility. There also, from my standpoint, needs to be handled differently from a governmental level.
Borowski says recent traffic calming efforts like speed humps and curb cutouts are not working.
The Milwaukee Community Orchestra getting ready for its second national anthem performance at a Brewers game this season.
Music director Marjorie Deutsch tells WTMJ's What's on Tap how you get 70 musicians and their instruments onto the field.
There was about 2 miles of walking because they take you under the field and then you have to walk back across. Nobody complained. Everybody was a really good sport.
And that means no music stands or chairs, even for the cellos.
They are not seated. It's almost like a Woody Allen joke. They just put their end pins out really far and they're playing it's pretty hilarious.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The Community Orchestra will open tomorrow's game at American Family Field against the Marlins.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources. Help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need. They help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
So, ladies, enjoying the charity bachelor auction so far? All right, next up, bid on a date with a true nice guy, a salesman from Soren's Ford in Brookfield.
At Soren's, we aim to please.
Woo! All right, we're going to start the bidding at $1,000 for a date with Mr. Nice Guy.
But I'm only quoted at $500.
Quiet, nice guy. Do I hear $1,200? $1,200?
$500, now wash your car for free.
What are you doing? She said $1,200.
Soren's Ford always offers the best deal possible.
Soren's Ford, 189th and Capitol in Brookfield. You won't find nicer guys or lower prices anywhere.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers and Marlins, first of a 3-game set at American Family Field tonight, with the Brewers keeping a keen eye on their air quality situation around the ballpark. President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger earlier today.
Baseball is not life and death, although sometimes the games feel like it. So, the health and safety of people in the city are the most important paramount concern we have.
Schlesinger saying the game against the Marlins is planned to go on as scheduled tonight. Ultimately, it is Major League Baseball that has the final say. Fans who are unable to attend tonight's game do have the option to exchange their tickets for a different game. Coverage starts tonight right after the 6 o'clock news of Brewers and Marlins here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. And action continuing in round 2 of the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale across the pond in merry old England. Right now, Cameron Young, the lone American, in second place with 6 under par, trailing Lucas Herbert, who has worked his way into a nice round of 62 today, finishing 9 birdies and just 1 bogey on the day for an 8 under 62 to lead action in England. This golf update sponsored by Morningstar Golfers Club, lush green fairways and velvet smooth greens. Plan your next round at Morningstar. Visit golfthestar.com today. To the roads now, your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Still got this crash being worked on 4145 South right at Hampton, left shoulder blocked there. Already some delays from earlier in the afternoon. They've gotten a little more exacerbated because of this issue. Good Hope Road all the way down to that site's going to be impacted. Northbound, the delays begin about Watertown Plank Road and continue north to about Hampton. Elsewhere, delays around the stadium, 94 east and west. You'll be tapping the brakes between 27th Street and Mitchell Boulevard. And other than that, it looks decent right now this hour, save for the hazy smoke that could be impacting visibilities.
Speaking of that hazy smoke, here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast where an air quality alert has been extended until 6 p.m. And today, smoky, hot, humid smoke will gradually disperse this afternoon. Might get a chance of an afternoon pop-up storm, high 91. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 75. Saturday, early rain, warm, humid, potential return of that wildfire smoke starting tomorrow afternoon, high 89. Sunday, sunshine, cooler, less humid, high 83. Monday, chance for some storms and showers, hot and humid, high 90. And Tuesday's weather, mostly sunny and high 84. Right now in Milwaukee, 87 degrees and mostly sunny. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:39.
Well, as reaction continues from President Trump's primetime address to the nation last night, as he was making the speech, he did so without a familiar face in the room. The president's longtime teleprompter operator, believed to have made tens of thousands of dollars placing bets on more than a dozen of Trump's speeches on the prediction market Kalshi. This according to investigators in a story that was broken around this time yesterday on our show by ABC News. Let's welcome in part of the team that helped break that story, ABC News investigative reporter Peter Haralambous. Good morning, Peter.
Thanks so much for having me.
So before we get into how this allegedly happened, what do we know about the operator themselves? Because it sounds like this was someone who is not just someone who just came in the second administration for the president. They were there for quite a while.
Yeah, we're talking about a decade of time working for President Trump. Rewind to 2016 when President Donald Trump was running for office for the first time. His campaign Googled teleprompter operators in New York City, and they came across this man, Gabe Perez, someone who eventually came with them to the White House, to the second administration, the most reliable teleprompter operator Trump has ever had. He's basically touted how good he is during multiple campaign speeches. But unbeknownst to the president, rewind a few months ago, Gabe Perez allegedly began placing trades on Kalshi's mention markets, basically betting on the words that were going to come out of Trump's mouth. We understand he profited more than $100,000. He's now been put on unpaid leave, though, and he's expected to reach a settlement with regulators and give back all of that money.
Now, Peter, for those of us who aren't regular gamblers, can you just give kind of a Kalshi 101, like how it compares to DraftKings and those types of sites?
It's different in that we're kind of in this golden age of gambling where you can bet on literally anything. So if you were to log on Kalshi right now, you could go to what's known as their mention markets. This is what Perez was allegedly trading on. And you can bet on what words are going to come out of the mouths of prominent people during these public speeches. So I checked this morning. If you wanted to place bets, you could bet on what will the announcers say during the White Sox game. Will the announcer say wild pitch or the bases are loaded? That is literally something you can put thousands of dollars on. You could bet on what Bernie Sanders is going to say during a speech today in Detroit. You could bet on what story is going to lead the evening newscast. All of these things. You could bet money on using kind of what used to be a technical financial tool. You're basically buying an events contract about the outcome of some future event. So really, you can really expand the universe of possible things you can gamble on. And in this case, it really opens the door for insiders trading. In this case, Perez had these speeches about an hour in advance, and he was basically using that information to make more than a dozen bets. We even understand he made changes to his bets as Trump continued with his speeches if he ever meandered off course. He did what Trump likes to call the weave to adjust his trades to make sure he'd still profit.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, too, because as Sandy mentioned, there is a difference between, your traditional sports book or a betting place and these prediction markets. Is it possible, Peter, the reason he's pursuing this settlement deal is because the law maybe hasn't caught up and it's a little bit of a gray area?
I think you're exactly right about that. This is an area in which the law, if anything, hasn't caught up to the technology. And that, if you look at traditional insider trading prosecutions, they use a long-standing case theory that really comes back to this idea that a corporate insider, someone who works for a company with inside knowledge, has a fiduciary duty to the company's investors. And that insider trading is a kind of market manipulation that betrays that duty. That is how they've pursued insider trading cases for decades. The problem is that formula just doesn't apply well to prediction markets, because when you're dealing with a prediction market, you're talking about people who, generally speaking, don't have any kind of fiduciary duty. They're basically members of the public at times betting on random events. And on top of that, because these are prediction markets where you're basically betting against someone else, there are victims here. Every bet that Perez allegedly made, there was someone on the other end betting against him, not knowing he had inside information that basically guaranteed his win.
Good Lord. And Peter, so this is legal. It's just not necessarily ethical, correct?
That's right. And if anything, the White House, once they got wind of this, actually instituted new policies telling White House officials, do not bet on Kalshi using private information. We're seeing more and more companies roll these out. What's also kind of remarkable here is that the White House was basically told by Kalshi, hey, there are some suspicious trades by this guy. Regulators looked into it. Prosecutors briefly looked into it. They're not going to bring charges, we understand. But the White House knew about this for months. And we only understand that recently he was put on unpaid leave after this reporting came out. This is a somewhat recent development. If anything, Gabe Perez was slated to be doing the teleprompter last night during Trump's speech before he was put on leave, and they had to bring in a new guy.
Yeah, I had to wonder about that too. I was just telling Sandy, Peter, as I was listening and watching the speech, even given the content of it, I couldn't help but think in the back of my mind, who's the one working the mouse right now? Do we know if there is like a backup prompter? Because that's someone, if you're the president, you have to have trust in, especially given how much, as you said, he likes to do the weave.
Yeah, the White House confirmed that they found a new guy to do it. No word yet on who they found or how they did necessarily. It seemed like President Trump stuck to the teleprompter pretty strictly during yesterday's speech. But if you think about it, this is someone who's been with the president longer than most people in that White House, right? We've seen a lot of turnover between Trump 1 and Trump 2, a lot of new people who weren't present during that first administration. This is one of the rare individuals who was with Donald Trump during the campaign, someone that built his trust with the president, did years of service, and if anything, was paid very handsomely by the federal government for his service. We understand that Perez, at the time of these trades, was technically a deputy assistant to the president. That is a very high rank within the federal government, making about $175,000 a year. That is near the very outer edge of how much you can make as an employee for the federal government.
Peter, is this bigger than sort of a Washington insider problem? Will this have some sort of a ramification on the gambling markets or beyond?
I think all things considered for now, it doesn't seem like we're seeing that much change from the federal government in that these companies like Kalshi and Polymarket argue that they can self-regulate. And they point to this actually as a success. They say, this is showing the system is working because they identified it, they referred it over to prosecutors. And that's their argument there. Generally speaking, the Trump administration has been very welcoming to these kind of markets. The CFTC has taken a kind of liberal approach to regulating them. The president has basically said he doesn't like the idea that everything has become basically a casino, but he doesn't want the United States to fall behind other countries where this is legal and embraced.
Before we let you go, Peter, I know that you've had a very busy week. You're a very busy guy, but everyone likes to unwind. We're talking The Odyssey as we go into a big movie weekend. Is it on your radar? Are you going to see it? Have you already?
Oh, great question. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I have no idea when I'll be able to see it because I would like to see it on 70 millimeter IMAX. And in New York City, it's kind of remarkable. There's only one theater that has that capability, and I think they sold out months ago of their tickets. So instead, I think I'll give it a beat. I'm actually up in Lake Placid this weekend. My wife is running an Ironman, so I get to enjoy beautiful Lake Placid and cheer come Sunday.
She's not running in the smoke, is she?
It was bad yesterday, but this morning we woke up, there was some rain, it looks like, so there's really no smoke in the air. It's a nice brisk 60 degrees this morning here.
Oh. Everyone in Wisconsin, Peter, just turned green with envy. We want some fresh air.
We were driving up, and it was looking really bad yesterday. It was New York City. It's pretty gross, but thank God. Hopefully you guys get winds or rain sometime soon to make it better.
Well, we're crossing our fingers over here. Enjoy your weekend, Peter. You've definitely earned the break. That's ABC News investigative reporter Peter Haralambos. Have a great weekend, Peter.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you as well. 12:48 on WTMJ. Got to wrap the week that was. We'll do the week in review next.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Al Orr, CEO of Reinhardt. Our headquarters, overlooking City Hall, reflects our commitment to a thriving downtown. We're proud that its growing built environment continues to be shaped by the dedication of our attorneys and clients to constantly improving the city we call home.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Doing banking differently since 1896. Greg Matzik here for Horicon Bank. Think about that for a second. Over 100 years of focus on the community and your business. At Horicon Bank, financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. And yes, Horicon Bank is expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded feel. I trust Horicon Bank. I've connected with Horicon Bank, and I invite you to do the same. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, member FDIC.
Wholesale mulch? No problem. We deliver to residential or wholesale accounts, and we can supply you with whatever volume of the highest quality mulch you need. Nobody around here has more mulch than Erickson's. We'll deliver you a 1-yard pickup truck load all the way up to 100 yards in a walking floor trailer. And if you just need a little bit, swing by and we'll fill up a 5-gallon bucket or two. It's the best mulch you'll find. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Our decorative stone is available by the handful for pickup, all the way up to 24-ton load deliveries. And our stone is superlative. We scour the countryside, countrywide, from Arizona to the Carolinas. We search pretty much the whole U.S. of A. to find you easily the best stone selection in southeastern Wisconsin. See a rainbow of decorative stone colors to match any exterior decor. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Do you have a clear advertising message that assures your potential customers will choose your business over others when they need your goods or services? Will you have time to nurture it so it stays interesting? Can you buy media effectively and cheap enough so that your business stays top of mind? You're a business owner, and we understand how busy you are. And that's why we do these very things to help our clients gain market share and grow their business. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small budget advertisers get better results. Making a big advertising budget work? To us, that's easy. We feel that our ability to make small advertising budgets work in a big way truly demonstrates we really do know what we're doing. And that's why we should talk. We'll take your advertising budget, put it to work, and if history tells us anything, it will be the best investment in your business that you've ever made. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because small or big budget, we help advertisers get better results.
The stories you're talking about on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There have been rumblings that outside groups are going to start doing this big, massive push for it in the end. But if you're an outside group, do you have faith in Sarah Rodriguez right now to do that? Do you see a path for her?
Would we anticipate anyone else dropping out of the race before the primary?
Look, campaigns ask 2 questions. Do I have a path to victory and have the resources to get there? The answer becomes no. Why are you in the race? So if anybody says no and no, they'll be out.
Only here on WTMJ.
The historic Fox and Hound Supper Club near Holy Hill is hiring experienced line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Night and weekend hours are required. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Inquire today, start next week. Google and call the Fox and Hounds today.
Here is the WTMJ forecast. An air quality alert extended until 6 o'clock tonight. Today, smoky, hot, humid. The smoke is expected to disperse in the afternoon. Already seeing clearer skies in West Bend and Waukesha. There is a chance for an afternoon pop-up storm. High 91 today, low 75 tonight under partly cloudy skies. And Saturday, early rain, warm, humid, and a potential for the return of wildfire smoke tomorrow afternoon. High 89. Right now in Milwaukee, partly sunny and 87 degrees.
12:52 on Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam and Sandy with you till 3 o'clock today. What a week it was once again. A shakeup in a big one in the governor's race. Smoke filling the city. The Greek Freak hitting Miami. All that and more on the Weekend Review, brought to you as always by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Sarah Rodriguez, major problems with her campaign funding.
I would say that most people are not going to stand in front of this many cameras and microphones to talk about fixing an error. And that's what you want to see in leadership.
If you claim that your big achievement is solving problems of your own creation, I don't think people believe that they're going to be capable of solving the problems that they care about.
It didn't take me but 5 minutes to know that there was something really wrong with that report because there were so many duplicates on it.
Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez is out for the race for governor.
ICE is pausing traffic stops after the deadly shootings of 2 drivers in less than a week during immigration operations. President Trump posted on social media he wants the traffic stops to eventually continue.
We will look back at this as being massive human rights violations done by us and our government to people who were totally innocent and deserve to be here because they had documentation.
No.
Really hot, and it's going to be even hotter tomorrow.
We have a heat index of just 96 in Milwaukee, and I say just in comparison to where we were a couple weeks ago. Hot is hot.
But I'm not done yet. If you didn't notice it yesterday, you're definitely going to notice it this morning. Holy cow.
So it has a 6-level scale that runs from 1 to 6 which is hazardous. We're at 4 to 5.
These fires will be here until it snows.
The Pirates turn 2, and they sweep the Brewers.
But the bigger concern was Jacob Mizorowski being scratched ahead of Sunday's final start with arm fatigue. The Miz will not pitch in Tuesday's All-Star game.
Whatever game they decide I'm going to throw, first game, second game, third game, fourth game, fifth game, somewhere there, I don't know.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is being introduced by the media, or to the media, I should say, in Miami. Giannis landing new hometown with the jersey number 7.
And me, and it was a no-brainer. I wanted to be here. I'm excited to be here, and I want to get to work.
I am not rooting for the Heat, but wouldn't it make a lot of Bucks fans feel good to see Giannis win that second title?
Senator Lindsey Graham is dead at 71 after a brief and sudden illness.
He was an articulate voice on defense issues. Losing him will lose a very powerful voice for the international wing of the Republican Party.
This morning, the news that Donald Baumgartner passed away has rippled through our creative community.
He was actually on the building committee when they hired Santiago Calatrava and really pushed that vision through. And then he was board chair when we opened the Calatrava wing 25 years ago.
And it's not just active in the boardroom. He was such a fun character and wanted to enjoy all the art that he was helping to put out in the world.
Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's. Why are people cheering?
They're cheering for fresh brisket. Crews began installing fencing and moving heavy equipment onto the property this week. The popular Texas-based travel stop is currently scheduled to open in Oak Creek in 2028.
It is the most highly anticipated movie of the summer.
The Odyssey.
Yes.
I think that is a fine indoor choice this weekend.
For the first 2 hours of the movie, I was like, this is pretty good. It all really comes together for me in the final third.
What a week, eh? What a week.
It's definitely hot outside, I ain't gonna lie.
Haven't stopped sweating.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Weekend.
Thank you, Liam. It is the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Text WEEK to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620 if you'd like to hear it again. 12:56 on WTMJ. Adam and Sandy with you. Lots still to come this afternoon, including more reaction to the big news of the day. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez dropping out of the race. We'll speak with Dr. Julia Azari from Marquette University for that. Plus, we are keeping our eye on the smoke. Sandy, you were mentioning, looks like things are clearing up slightly in some areas.
The prediction has been that the clearing will happen from west to east because that's how the wind is blowing. And I was looking at the TMJ4 weather cams, and you can see bright, clear views in West Bend and Waukesha right now. But when you look at the cams in Racine, Port Washington, and still here in Milwaukee, it's going to be slower to dissipate on the coast of Lake Michigan. But it does appear to be clearing. We will check in with Brian Niznansky just after 1:30, and we do have Craig Copleen and on call at all times. So we will definitely keep you updated on what the prognosis is for the weekend, as well as this air quality alert has been extended until 6 p.m.
12:57, news is next.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, hoping you'll join me on Saturdays at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin. We do it each and every Saturday, checking in with some of the places across our state. They're cool. They're fun. Our great state has so much to offer, and we're going to take you there. This week, we are joined by Road America and the Racine Zoo. Going to be fun. It's Experience Wisconsin. It's Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ. Let us help plan your next trip.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Save big on all of your electrical projects when you shop at Menards. Zero Wire is an American-owned leading manufacturer of electrical building wire for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. Menards stocks convenient pre-cut lengths of wiring products for both indoor and outdoor projects. Save big on electrical wire and cable products at Menards. Plus, visit Menards.com to view our weekly flyer and check out all of the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Visit the city where festivals take over the lakefront. Breweries pour late into the night, and every neighborhood brings its own flavor. Milwaukee doesn't just host festivals,
it owns them.
with more than 100 every year, including the world's largest music festival. The lakefront views,
Incredible food and breweries,
live sports,
and nightlife that doesn't quit.
make Milwaukee a city built for unforgettable weekends. Expert guides at visitmilwaukee.org will help you plan every detail of your next visit. Get started today
At visitmilwaukee.org.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Vacation's over. It's time to get back to work.
The 0-2. Got him looking. 3 straight fastballs at 103 miles an hour, and off we go.
The crew is back in town to take on the Marlins at American Family Field. This series is sponsored by Iron Workers Local 8. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 101. It's Wisconsin's Midday News. Today's Friday, July 17th, and I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, another candidate dropping out of the governor's race.
I'm Sandy Max, in for Jessica Ty, threatening to strip funding for elections.
An air quality alert extended this evening until 6 p.m. It'll be a smoky, hot, humid Friday. High of 91. Could also see some pop-up afternoon thunderstorms as well. 75, your overnight low, and partly cloudy. Up to 87 in Milwaukee with haze and sun at 102. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, decision Wisconsin Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, after a whirlwind week, ends her campaign for Wisconsin governor. The announcement coming days after she fired her campaign manager for campaign finance reporting errors.
As we have continued to dig into our financial reports, it has become clear that there are issues that would be an ongoing distraction, not just for this campaign, but for the primary and for Wisconsin.
In her announcement video, Rodriguez did not officially offer an endorsement to any of the remaining 4 candidates for the Democratic gubernatorial nomination ahead of the partisan primary election August 11th.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullen threatened to strip states of federal election-related funding and possibly seek criminal penalties against election officials if they don't comply with the administration's voting roll probe ahead of the midterm elections.
Mullen threatened to withhold federal funding if states refuse to implement the Trump administration's changes.
We're saying that the machines had to be secured and that your voter registration list needs to be scrubbed.
Despite Trump's claims about widespread issues with voting systems, newly declassified documents released by the White House on Thursday cast doubt on the Trump administration's claims that the systems used to tabulate ballots and transmit election results are vulnerable to widespread manipulation. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
Back here at home, funeral arrangements now set for late Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrell. Waukesha County welcoming the public to a visitation celebration of life coming up on August 6th. The event will be held at the Waukesha County Expo Center starting at 4:30 in the afternoon, with a funeral date set for August 12th in Brookfield. Farrell passing away July 7th after a battle with a rare cancer at the age of 61, and today would have been his 62nd birthday.
25 arrests on Wisconsin's waterways during Operation Dry Water over the July 4th holiday weekend.
The efforts are part of the Wisconsin DNR's effort to ensure safe waterways. Wardens also issued nearly 900 warnings and over 200 citations for boating safety violations. They also saved a woman's life on the Eagle River chain after she drunkenly fell off a boat without a life jacket. Wardens also assisted sheriff's deputies in Racine County after severe storms caused damage on July 3rd. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
And a bit of good news about wildfire smoke in our area, which has been the big story in Wisconsin for the second half of this week. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the details.
That wildfire smoke is expected to head back to the north and east as southerly and southwesterly winds take hold closer to the surface. So expect some improving air quality, especially as we head into the afternoon.
Spots near the lakefront, including Sheboygan, Ozaukee counties, and areas to the south, might hold on to smoke for a little while longer. And another round of that smoke could arrive late Saturday as winds shift yet again. We'll have your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in about 4 minutes. First news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. On Wall Street, it's been a bit of a rough go for the majors. The NASDAQ now down 1% plus on the day, off 273 points this hour at 25,596. Meanwhile, the Dow is off nearly 300 points at 52,259, and the S&P 500 down 63 points. That's about 0.8% at 7,471. Financial planning at every level: Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. A check of sports, the roads, and your 5-day forecast coming up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 105.
You know how fast summer flies by in Wisconsin, and before you know it, you'll be pulling into a dark driveway every evening. While you're soaking up what's left of summer, make plans to not be left in the dark when that day comes. Now is the perfect time to transform your home with professionally designed outdoor lighting from Blingle. Whether you're looking for elegant landscape lighting to showcase your home's beauty, improve safety, and extend your outdoor living space, or you'd like permanent roofline lighting that gives you stunning, app-controlled lighting for every season, Blingle has you covered. Their custom lighting systems are energy efficient, professionally installed, and designed to make your home stand out every night of the year. Don't wait until the sun starts setting much earlier. Schedule your free consultation today and see what your home looks like when it's truly Blingled. Visit blingle.com/MKE. That's blingle.com/MKE.
Get Blingled. Get Blingled. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. I want to tell you about a healthcare team I personally trust, Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens is my chiropractor, and they've become an important part of helping me stay healthy and active. Life can be demanding, whether you're spending long hours at a desk, chasing after kids, enjoying your favorite hobbies, or simply trying to feel your best. Aches and pains can get in the way. The doctors and staff at Jens focus on finding the source of your discomfort, helping you improve your overall health and your mobility. They provide personalized care where you feel heard and supported. I've experienced that care firsthand, which is why I'm proud to recommend Jens Family Chiropractic. Take the first step towards feeling better right now. The team at Jens Family Chiropractic is second to none. Learn more at jensfamilychiropractic.com. Experience the difference. That's jensfamilychiropractic.com.
Get ready for the Fox exclusive July sale. For 2 weeks only, lock in your favorite dates and rates on all-inclusive resorts and cruises. Fox World Travel has exclusive discounts with Apple vacations to Mexico and the Caribbean, paired with nonstop flights, or go port hopping with Royal Caribbean Cruises. Plus, get combinable cruise discounts you won't find anywhere else. Take a relaxing couples getaway, family fun adventure, or group trip. Book by July 24th. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Keeping you updated on culture and creativity. What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
A Hero's Homecoming, an original ballet set in World War II created by Wisconsin Dance Theater artistic director Sam Huberty.
We had a veteran from World War II that came, and he was like, it looked exactly how I remembered things looking. The dresses that people were wearing and the uniforms, and really it was so phenomenal to get that insight.
What's on Tap, weeknights at 6 on WTMJ, and the What's on Tap podcast on WTMJ.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Logan Henderson, the starter tonight for your Milwaukee Brewers against Miami's Sandy Alcantara. They'll be playing at American Family Field amidst this air quality issue we've had for several days. And the Brewers are top of mind with air quality, says President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger.
Right now, a game is scheduled to go on, but obviously we're going to be monitoring things, and we'll have announcements throughout the day if there are any changes or any adjustments.
First pitch set for 6:40 this evening. Our coverage begins after the 6 o'clock news here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. And a quick check in England. Second round of the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale still ongoing. Great day for Lucas Herbert, jumping 38 spots up the leaderboard after a round 2 62. That's 8 under par. Good for a 2-shot advantage over the American Cameron Young at 6 under. This golf update sponsored by Morningstar Golfers Club. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens. Play your next round at Morningstar. Visit golfthestar.com today. To the roads now, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Looks like that earlier crash that was impacting your drive on 4145 South at Hampton has been taken care of. The delays, though, have not. Still plenty of backups from Good Hope all the way down south of Capitol Drive to near Burleigh, and then a little bit northbound as well from Highway 100 up towards Hampton. Elsewhere, we've got a left shoulder blockage due to a crash on 43 South, right as you work your way towards the Marquette. So we got some backups associated with this right around the interchange, stretching from about Wisconsin Avenue towards the high-rise bridge. And then it'll just be a touch slow right around the Stadium 94 East and West between 35th and Mitchell Boulevard.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast. An air quality alert has been extended until 6 p.m. Today, smoky, hot, humid. Smoke disperses, though, in the afternoon gradually, but there is a chance for an afternoon pop-up storm, high 91. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 75. And the weekend, Saturday, will start off with an early shower, then warm and humid, a potential for the return of wildfire smoke starting tomorrow afternoon, high 89. Sunday, sunshine, cooler, less humid, high 83. Then Monday, chance for some showers and storms, hot and humid, high 90. And Tuesday weather, sunshine and high 84. Right now in Milwaukee, partly sunny, 87 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:11.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts. In for Greg Matzik, it's Adam Roberts. And in for Jessica Ty, it's Sandy Max.
Adam and Sandy, hour number 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Happy Friday.
Same to you, Sandy. And happy Friday to all of you as well, joining us along for your ride or your walk or wherever you're at dealing with this wildfire haze. Checking in with some of you. We got a texter in Beloit saying still a little hazy out there, but we did see some clearing starting to work its way in. Those temperatures also starting to jump up just a touch as this warm front moves through. We'll check in with some of our friends from Storm Team 4 and WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen later on in the show for the latest. But first...
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
And number 1 is the major Wisconsin gubernatorial news of the day. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez is out, moving this morning to drop out of the race for governor. This less than a week after firing her campaign manager over reporting errors and after a wild reporting on finance accounts earlier this week as well.
I got into this race because I wanted what was best for Wisconsin, and that hasn't changed. And because I believe that, I cannot, in good conscience, allow these questions to become a cloud over an election that Democrats need to win.
So now the question, what does this do to the field? Well, earlier today, Joel Brennan, within the last hour at a, I will say, pretty hastily scheduled press conference, did say he plans to stay in the race. We've also heard a lot from State Senator Kelda Roys as she and Brennan jockey for position. But now some are questioning what this could mean for County Executive David Crowley. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes with Dr. Julia Azari from Marquette University and the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's Jesse Apoyan later on the 2 o'clock hour.
Following President Trump's speech last night on election security, the head of the Department of Homeland Security is weighing in today. Secretary Markwayne Mullins says DHS has identified over 250,000 potential non-citizens illegally registered to vote in 4 states.
Under President Trump's leadership, DHS is well prepared to support all states, red states, blue states, and local election officials ahead of the midterms. States must do their part to secure our election system, and we stand by to help.
But ABC's Pierre Thomas says it's not clear how DHS conducted its preliminary review of voting records.
They've yet to describe their methodology in terms of how they came up with this information and whether they were able to basically talk to the state officials in those locations to see if the information matches up.
It doesn't appear on first inspection that the document release contains substantive references to Wisconsin, its elections, or Wisconsin election officials. However, the speech comes as the FBI has interviewed Milwaukee election officials who helped administer the 2020 election. For more perspective on the president's speech and possible ramifications of the content contained within, we will be joined by Marquette University political science professor Dr. Julia Azari, as we mentioned, just a couple of minutes.
And number 3, outside of the past few days have looked more like fog than the sun we're expecting this time of year in July as we deal with the worst wildfire smoke event on record. At least that was the case yesterday in the city of Milwaukee, and today has, for many of us, not been a whole lot better. Thursday, the air quality index in the city of Milwaukee peaking just under 650, well into the hazardous category. I'm going to check my airnow.gov account, and where we're sitting here in the Avenue, 384. So you do the math, and that is notably better, but still well beyond what would be considered safe for any stretch of time.
It's still going to make your throat scratchy and your eyes itch.
And of course, we also are tracking the impact this could have on potential activities this weekend. Another busy Milwaukee weekend with a lot of festivals. We got the Waukesha County Fair that's going on right now. We'll check in with WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen and Storm Team 4 later, and we'll keep an eye on any possible event impacts caused by the smoke. It's 1:15 on Midday News.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th, get up close to thousands of aircraft, learn about the newest innovation, get hands-on with experts, and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Sighting Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Still plenty of smoke and haze, especially if you're closer to the lake right now. Expecting a high around 91 today in Milwaukee. The air quality alert does continue until 6 this evening. We'll have to watch in case things crop up again over the weekend if more alerts come about. Partly cloudy tonight, and then another potentially smoky afternoon tomorrow. Highs in the mid-80s expected. We sit at 87 right now in Milwaukee at 117. The latest shakeup to the Wisconsin gubernatorial campaign coming in just the last couple of hours with the departure of Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, narrowing the field down to 4 candidates. At least that's the case for now. There have been multiple reports that former Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, or current county executive, former candidate, may change around and get back in the race. Still nothing official yet. For more perspective on this, as well as the president's speech in prime time last night, happy to be joined by Dr. Julia Azari, professor of political science at Marquette University. Doctor, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we originally had you booked in exclusively on the president's speech, but as you know, the news never stops, and neither do we here. So just initial gut reaction. Obviously, it had been a tumultuous week for the lieutenant governor, given the campaign finance reports, the firing of the campaign manager. Just gut reaction as to the news coming in this morning.
Well, I was honestly quite surprised. And I know that people have been talking about the potential that Rodriguez would drop out, but campaigns have these kinds of, manager shakeups, not infrequently. And the funding is obviously the bigger picture issue. The fact that they have a lot less cash on hand, it sounds like less cash on hand than even some of the candidates who are polling far behind where Rodriguez was, as far as I know. But yeah, so those seem like, the reasons. But again, I was pretty surprised at this response, and I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop in terms of what else might have been discovered. So that's my gut reaction.
And Dr. Azaria, so when you're talking about that other shoe, what are you looking for?
Oh, I have no idea, but a more sort of a more damning piece of evidence about what's going on in the campaign or the campaign manager. But that's completely speculation on my part. My initial reaction was campaign churn is common. Campaign finance issues are not that uncommon. Maybe I have low expectations for American politics. So that was my response. My other reaction was this would feel pretty good if you were Mandela Barnes or Francesca Hong. That this, my initial reaction was this would make this a much more competitive race between the two of them. But it sounds like there are other things afoot. Obviously, there are at least two other candidates still in the race, and maybe David Crowley joining the race again. So I have no idea. This has been a really kind of surprising morning in Wisconsin politics, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on what it says about the state party, too. We're hearing the same reports you are, that the county executive could be at least considering a reentry. There also could be a possible hinge whether or not the governor who changes course. He previously was very adamant, despite multiple people from his cabinet being in this race, that I'm not endorsing anyone. Now that could be what hinges on Crowley reentering potentially. Does the state party, obviously they can't whip votes into order, but do they have to get some sort of a unified message here? We're just a couple weeks out from the primary. Meanwhile, the Republican side, Tom Tiffany's just sitting back. He's just putting his hands up and seem to be cruising right now.
Right. Yeah. And his signs are already up. Right. So, my thought about this is they're not reading the political science literature on how we would tell people to manage this kind of a field. Obviously, there are a lot of good candidates. That's not an uncommon thing for there to be a lot of qualified people who are interested in becoming governor and have some appeal about them. And that, not untrue for Republicans either, but Republicans, I think, probably saw the writing on the wall and consolidated. And what the Democrats are doing right now is what really, I would tell a party to do in January. Narrow it down to a few candidates in a few kind of lanes. So there's some competition, but you don't have a bunch of people who are largely in the same kind of ideological space competing against each other. And the last thing I would have told a campaign to do, if they're concerned about electability and they're concerned about the possibility of a more left-wing candidate not being electable. I'm not saying that's valid, but if that's the concern, the last thing you want to do is add in another establishment candidate to split up that vote. So my reaction as a political scientist is, what are you doing? And so adding back in more candidates is just sort of adding more, like you said, division in contrast with a party, with the other party that's already consolidated.
And these decisions have to happen very quickly. The primary is August 11th, and early voting in person could start 2 weeks before. The mail-in ballots are already coming in. Is there any particular source that you will keep your eyes on to see, or are you just eating popcorn watching all of this transpire?
I am eating popcorn watching this transpire. It's quite fascinating as a party politics scholar what has happened here. I'll be watching Wisconsin Public Radio, tends to be my source for that. I'll be looking at the Journal Sentinel. Those are my usual sources. I've got other colleagues who work more closely on state and local issues. I'm more of a national politics scholar, but like I said, quite interesting to me from a party politics perspective.
Dr. Julia Azari, Marquette University political science professor with us on Wisconsin's Midday News. Wanted to pivot then, Dr. Azari, to the president's speech last night, prime time, but notably, even amidst the contents contained, was the decision by several networks, ABC and NBC, not to air the speech in primetime. That got a response from the president calling for their FCC licenses. CBS notably did carry the speech, though with Tony DeCoppel giving a pretty big editorial piece, I thought, at the beginning as to why exactly they were doing that. What's the significance here? We've seen the president go after ABC specifically before. Are we seeing a potential return to this?
Yeah, I think we're seeing a pretty ongoing battle between the Trump administration and the news media, and I think it would be professionally irresponsible for me to note that that's not normal. It's standard for presidential administrations to find the media annoying and have kind of fights with them on the margins, for people to kind of talk about that in private conversations in the White House, but it's not normal to wage these more public and ongoing battles that are very specifically aimed at things like critical coverage. In this case, it's also not normal for networks to decide not to cover a presidential primetime address, although I'll note that it's more common more recently as a presidential address has become like kind of a less of a focal point in the media environment. But it felt pointed to me, and it felt sort of directed at the idea that the 2020 election, which was one of the main focuses of the speech, has been decided. Joe Biden served as president. He left office as president. That already happened. And many courts have weighed in on those election results. Trump's own, in his own administration, the intelligence community put forward a report about foreign intervention. That report was published in January and unclassified in January of 2021. And unclassified in March of 2021. And so this is sort of settled. And so I think there was a message from those networks that this is not newsworthy content to revisit the 2020 election. And again, this is really, getting more into these issues than typically I would do as a political scientist, but I feel that it's not responsible professionally for me not to be straightforward and honest about my evaluation of what's going on here.
And before we say goodbye, do you think this national speech was effective?
Well, I mean, a national speech needs to kind of do three things. It needs to set up the point. It needs to set up the problem and point to a solution. It needs to try to be persuasive to people who might be on the fence on a policy issue, in this case, the SAVE Act. And it needs to focus what the party stands for. And I would say Trump did the last one quite effectively, and it was very effective in displaying where the Republican Party stands on these issues, and has been very effective there, but was not as effective in linking the problem to the solution. The SAVE Act is not really responsive to the questions that were raised about this supposed new document. And I think probably it's very unlikely at this point that many presidents are capable of persuading anybody who doesn't already agree with them. And I don't know that the president's speech was very effective in that regard.
Dr. Julia Azari, professor of political science at Marquette University. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's 1:27 on WTMJ. News is next.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club.
where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Summer always starts with good intentions.
Kids home from school, weekend trips, more time outside.
But somehow the house is in complete chaos by June.
That's why summer is the perfect time to get organized with Inspired Closets.
We create custom solutions for garages, pantries, laundry rooms, and more, so your home works better for real life.
And when everything has a place, summer feels a whole lot less stressful.
Visit us today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
It's 1:30, Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 17th. I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, just 4 left vying for the gubernatorial nomination on the Democratic side.
I'm Sandy Max, a special honor for a local orchestra from the Brewers.
Hazy skies, low 90s for the high.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. As Canada fights nearly 900 fires burning, Toronto's Premier Doug Ford seeks to put out a diplomatic fire from some in the U.S. calling for sanctions against Canada.
For those same elected officials from the Republican Party, why don't they talk to their governor and see how they can support us?
The Brewers say tonight's game against the Marlins is on, even as the air quality index approaches 400 in Milwaukee, and FIFA is monitoring the air over New Jersey for Sunday's World Cup final. Michigan still has it the worst from the intestinal illness that has victims camping out in their bathrooms. Another 700 cases just since yesterday, just in Michigan. The CDC looking at contaminated lettuce sold to Taco Bells in Michigan, plus Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen says states that don't investigate their voters for possible election fraud could lose federal money. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it's Decision Wisconsin coverage. Another shakeup in Wisconsin's governor's race today as Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez ends her campaign. The decision following scrutiny over her campaign's finances, forcing her to fire her campaign manager.
I am deeply hurt and betrayed by what happened. As I said on Monday, part of being a leader is taking swift action, doing the right thing, and being as honest as possible when there's a problem.
With the partisan primary election less than 1 month away, it now leaves 4 candidates on the Democratic side to face Republican frontrunner Congressman Tom Tiffany.
A late-night vote leaves a gentleman's club in Franklin without its license. The Franklin Common Council revoked On the Border's liquor and entertainment licenses Thursday night. Michael Levine is the attorney for the owners.
They do their best as a club to keep their patrons safe, to keep their employees safe. And after 30 years in business, what we have learned tonight is there has been an average of 1 complaint per month at the most over the last 6 years. And most of the complaints are fairly innocuous.
A larger human trafficking investigation left On the Border's general manager with a felony charge of keeping a place of prostitution.
A Marquette student charged in a crash that killed his lacrosse teammates last year makes his first appearance in court.
Peter McColgan faces felony homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle in the deaths of Noah Snyder and Scott Michaud. The trial and his charges were initially delayed so he could graduate college. McColgan's attorney.
I think to coincide with Mr. McColgan graduating, because the district attorney's office, I think, kindly allowed him to continue doing that because he was on notice that if the case was charged, he would be dismissed from Marquette.
The courthouse packed Thursday for the initial appearance with Marquette students, staff, and McColgan's family. Amandria Brunner, the other driver in the case, was found not guilty on the same charges. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Some modest improvement last month for Wisconsin's job market, with employment rising and unemployment edging lower.
New figures from the Department of Workforce Development show the state added 2,400 jobs last month, while the unemployment rate dipped to 3.3%, below the national rate of 4.2%.
Non-farm jobs have actually risen the last 3 months, following a relatively downward trend from 2024. And unemployment had been slowly trending upwards the last few years through early 2026, though the last couple of months have been more moderate.
DWD Chief Economist Scott Hodak says the state's labor force participation was also up last month to 64%, which is higher than the national average. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
And dozens of Milwaukee area musicians are getting ready for a special national anthem performance this weekend.
The Milwaukee Community Orchestra made its Brewers game debut a few weeks ago, but there wasn't enough space for all 160 musicians.
When I was discussing this with the Brewers, I said, how do I leave half my orchestra out of this opportunity? And they said, come twice. So that was pretty cool.
Music director Marjorie Deutsch tells WTMJ's What's on Tap.
We were very close to players. They were warming up on the field because we were out there for a while, but it was really great. And the crowd was so warm and they really embraced us.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Community Orchestra playing before tomorrow's game for the Brewers against the Marlins. And speaking of the Brewers, we're keeping an eye on the sky for tonight's game. What's the team have to say? We'll have that, plus the roads in your 5-day forecast up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1:35.
Experience 90 years of history this week at the Fox and Hounds, the Up North Timbered Supper Club near Holy Hill. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It is my favorite place. Make some great memories at the Fox and Hounds. The Friday haddock fish fry is all you care to eat and one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. The pan-fried walleye, that's so good. The pecan-crusted salmon, my wife loves that. The spinach and cheese tortellini, the surf and turf, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Try the ribs. Desserts are buy one, get one free. Relax with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, more than 120 wines from around the world. Rustic bar, 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds cuddles the Kettle Moraine Forest near Holy Hill. The summer drive is a Wisconsin must-see. Escape from your kitchen with a free dinner at the Fox and Hounds, serving from 4 p.m. Dine early. Saturday, buy one prime rib dinner, get one free. Enjoy Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Call and reserve your free dinner.
WTMJ's Eric Billstead here. It's been more than 3 years, and I'm telling you, my garage doors from J.D. Griffiths still look brand new. They pop. J.D. Griffiths has been installing garage doors and building detached garages for decades. And right now, J.D. Griffiths wants to do something for you. The first 10 people to go to the website and mention WTMJ can get $100 off a garage renovation, $100 off a new door, or $500 toward a new garage build. Go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ right now.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody. The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers, current owners of the second best record in baseball, and kicking off the second half of the season with a 9-game homestand. It starts with 3 against the Miami Marlins tonight, but the Brewers also keeping an eye on air quality as they return to action. President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger earlier today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Baseball is not life and death, although sometimes the games feel like it. So, the health and safety of people in the city are the most important paramount concern we have.
Schlesinger says as of now, the game's scheduled as usual tonight, though there will be an option for fans who prefer to exchange tickets for another 2026 regular season home game. Our coverage starts right after the 6 p.m. news on WTMJ. And speaking of the Brewers, they today announced the signing of first-round pick out of Corona, California, Trey Ebel, who is in Milwaukee and scheduled to take batting practice with the team later tonight. And on the course right now, action continuing. Much of the field in the Open Championship at Southport, England, is wrapping things up at Royal Birkdale. Lucas Herbert, still the big jumper of the day, going up from 38 down to the top spot on the leaderboard, 8 under par, thanks to a round 2 62. Cameron Young, Jackson Suber, and Sam Burns, the three behind him, and Bryson DeChambeau also jockeying into the top 5 on the leaderboard. This golf update is brought to you by Morningstar Golf Course, lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens. Visit golfthestar.com today. To the roads now, your WTMJ time saver traffic. The good news is we don't have too much in the way of incidents right now. Did have an earlier crash that was right around the Marquette, but it does look like that has been moved from a crash situation to just a broken down vehicle situation. So they should have that taken care of. You may still be tapping the brakes as you go south on 43 from about North Avenue towards the Marquette and the high-rise bridge. Elsewhere, 4145 from around Appleton Avenue southbound towards Burleigh, you'll be on the brakes through construction, as well as northbound from Highway 100 up towards Hampton. And then just a slight slowdown as you work your way past American Family Field, 94 east and west between 35th and Mitchell Boulevard. Adam and Sandy with you on Wisconsin's Midday News amidst what has been a whirlwind of a week in more ways than one, especially the second half of this week. The air quality has been no joke. It has been historically bad, especially yesterday. We were reading earlier in the 600s for that AQI, numbers we've never seen, Sandy, ever before in this city. We're joined now by Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano, who's been tracking everything today. Hey, Jacob, right now, where do we sit? Because we've been hearing from some of our WTMJ fans on their reports of what things are looking like. Are you seeing this clearing that we were expecting for the first half of today?
Yeah, it is clearing up a little bit, but it's more so clearing up depending on where you're located, because throughout the next few hours, we still expect to see a thin layer of some heavy smoke, especially near the lake, because what the lakeside communities are going to be dealing with is a little bit of a battleground of the winds, whereas the general wind direction is out of the southwest, which is pushing a lot of the smoke out of the area for most of the region. But right along the lake, there's a little bit of a lake breeze, especially north shore and as you go farther north. And so you're actually creating potentially even heavier smoke for a small period of locations. Again, right along the lake is where we're seeing some of that heavier smoke. And as we look at some of the cameras across our region, it definitely looks a lot better in places like Waukesha, West Bend compared to Milwaukee and Port Washington.
Jacob, I was going to say, I was watching the TMJ4.com weather cams, and even in Racine, which was very foggy, I started to say foggy, but very smoky earlier, within the past hour, I can see white puffy clouds in a blue sky. So it's even cleared up there.
Yeah, I mean, even here in our studio, which is located in Milwaukee, we could see a little bit of that blue sky that we haven't seen in the past 24 to 36 hours, even more than that. So, yeah, definitely some good news for today. But again, still looking at some areas near the lake that will see some hazardous smoke. And even though we are clearing up, the air quality is still very bad. We're still in the red zone, which is unhealthy. But even though it is an improvement, it's still not something that should be taken lightly as we get into the evening. By tonight, though, the smoke will clear up into tomorrow morning. But right now, things do not look good for the weekend, because by Saturday, we'll see more smoke move into the area. Initially, not as bad, but the latest models for Sunday morning definitely concern us, as we might see some of that hazardous smoke return, because it's looking like it could be even heavier. Now, I don't want to say that's going to happen for sure, but right now it does not look good for Sunday with the air quality.
Yeah, because I'm a weather nerd, Jacob. I spent a portion of my Thursday evening tracking jet stream projections, and I was looking as far out as Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and the thing I kept seeing wherever I was looking, and I don't know if you're seeing the same thing, but it just seems to be shooting straight down from northwest Ontario and northern Minnesota, where all of these fires are originating from. And it's not just an us issue, too, either. The East Coast is dealing with this. I'm thinking about the FIFA World Cup final this weekend. They say they're going to go on, but it's not just a Wisconsin issue at all.
Yeah, a lot of the Great Lakes region especially, and you mentioned areas further east as well. But and you're absolutely right about next week. I mean, we're going to see some cooler temperatures, and when that happens, where's the wind come from? It comes from the north, and that's where the wildfire smoke is. So it wouldn't surprise me if we're dealing with this for maybe another week. Now, again, if you want to spend some time outside, tomorrow morning looks good. Now, we might see some rain, but it's not a slam dunk rain chance, but we'll at least see clear air quality until about noon, where we see it move back into the area, and then it really gets heavy again for Saturday night and Sunday.
And Jacob, when you talk about, oh no, we may be dealing with wildfire smoke into next week, are you also expecting it to be at this unhealthy range? It's one thing to have smoke, but will it continue to be even maybe needing masks? I've seen construction workers and just people walking the street wearing the surgical masks that we used to have to wear.
I definitely would say that's a possibility. Again, when it comes to smoke forecasts, obviously a lot can change because wildfires can get worse and better very quickly. But right now, based on the wind direction, it wouldn't surprise me, especially, I mean, Sunday especially looks like that. The forecast Sunday does not look great for the air quality. And based on how rough it looks Sunday, all the smoke forecasts only go out to Sunday. But based on how bad and widespread it is Sunday, and based on the wind direction Monday, it wouldn't surprise me if it continues to be bad for Monday and Tuesday. Now, there is a good chance of rain Monday that may help disperse some of the smoke particles, but not really seeing long-term relief from the smoke. Again, short-term relief, yes, tomorrow morning looks good, but overall, it's not going away anytime soon.
All right, Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano, stay safe over there at Radio City, and we'll check in again soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
145 on WTMJ. Hey, if you are looking for some reprieve from the smoky air, perhaps the spot to be is your favorite movie theater this weekend. We dive into the movie that has people talking up next.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy, and helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Academic Mortgage is an equalizing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Rates are a little stuck, but what if you could save $2,000 or more on your mortgage payment in the next year while we're waiting for 30-year fixed rates to come back down? That's exactly what we just did for Amanda, who bought her home last summer with a traditional 30-year fixed from AccuNet at 6.99. With current rates now closer to 6.5, we reached out to her with two options. Save $90 a month or just over $1,000 a year on her $226,000 loan with no loan costs, or save $2,200 in the first year while we wait for rates to come back down. She chose door number 2, which is what we're calling our Rate Buster Refi. It's a 30-year fixed rate loan with an effective rate of 5.88 for the first year and 6.88 for years 2 through 30. The APR is 6.89 with 25% equity and all the other right stuff. Hey, don't just sit there waiting. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and find out how much you can save with the traditional no loan cost refi or our new Rate Buster Refi. That's ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ's Jessica Ty for Steinhoffels. How does this sound? Upgrade your sleep and save on Beauty Rest at Steinhoffels. So nice, right? Right now, get a free foundation with your Beauty Rest mattress purchase. Queen start at only $1,499, or you can step up to the luxury of a Beauty Rest Black King adjustable base set and get $500 instant savings. Plus, with Steinhoffels 60-month financing, better sleep has never been more affordable. Don't overpay for a great night's sleep. Shop in store or online at steinhoffels.com. relax. It's Steinhoffels.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Tell me what you remember.
A wife. A son.
And then what?
We won the war. Help me go home.
That is the sound of the Odyssey.
Oh my goodness. If you've been waiting for a summer thriller, it seems like the stage has been set, the platter has been delivered. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey is in theaters now, and I'm jazzed about it. I love Nolan movies. The Dark Knight was one of the first ones that I watched and maybe just kind of sit for a second and absorb afterwards. And so I've been waiting for something like this. I've been waiting for a follow from Nolan to Oppenheimer.
I would say, how do you follow up Oppenheimer with Odyssey?
Oh my goodness. So
it is
people
epic.
are getting in, they're seeing it now. The reviews are already starting to come out, I think, and take Rotten Tomatoes with a little bit of a grain of ketchup, if you will. But 98% out of the gate doesn't happen all that often. That's pretty high rave reviews. And Sandy, you were able to get a peek at it yourself.
I did. I splurged and went to the IMAX at Mayfair because I wanted to be one of the first to see it because I didn't want it to get spoiled. Like, I don't want to hear people going, oh my God, it's the best movie ever. Meh. So I wanted to judge for myself. And this is one of the only film filmed on IMAX completely. So I thought, let's go see it the right way. Now, if you really want to see it the completely way it was meant to be, IMAX 70 millimeter. But IMAX 70 millimeter, the closest you can get is Woodridge, Illinois, which is southwest suburbs of Chicago.
There
so
are
it's going to be
people
a bit
that
of
will
a
make
drive.
that road trip, though.
Exactly. That's why I want to share that with you. So if it's worth a couple hours of drive, it's probably as long of a drive round trip as it is for the film. 2 hours and 52 minutes.
It is lengthy. that is the truth.
Now, here's what I will tell you. I'm going to give you 3 spoiler-free reviews. One is mine, and then I've got 2 more to share with you. But I will say that my concern at seeing it at 10 o'clock last night, that maybe I'd fall asleep. 3 hours. My one-word review, harrowing. I was truly on the edge of my seat often.
Which is good.
I was not drowsy. It was really entertaining. So I would say that. And then Nazir Spencer, one of our WTMJ reporters, he saw the film yesterday. This was his review.
One word, extravagant. Yeah, I think it's Nolan's best work since Interstellar. I think Oppenheimer was great, but I think Interstellar is the peak of powers for Nolan. I love that movie. The storytelling was beautiful. The acting, every actor in that movie, actress, and Hathaway specifically, was absolutely astonishing in that movie. I think it's the movie of the year, movie of the summer so far. I'm excited for everyone to see it.
That's Nazir Spencer's review of The Odyssey, which I realize, Adam, we just jumped in. But I think a lot of people either had to read this in high school at some point, but The Odyssey is Homer's poem almost 3,000 years ago, the story of Odysseus trying to get home to his wife and all of the mythical hurdles he encounters on his voyage to get back home to his queen.
Yeah, some of the great mythical creatures of time. You think of the sirens, you think of the Cyclops. They're all there. Hades makes an appearance at some point.
Yes, all of those are in the film, again, without spoilers. And I will say, I think archery, interest in that sport may spike after seeing this film. And this was Eric Bilstead's. He even made time for this for a matinee yesterday.
Majestic. It is big, it is large, it is an epic film, but also there are aspects to it that are fairly simple. What Christopher Nolan does is he does Christopher Nolan really well. The director just knows how to do these types of movies, so he layers. He has nonlinear timelines. He does all of the things that make it large and majestic and big.
So that's Eric's review, and I will tell you, one of the reasons it looks big, not only is it on an IMAX screen, it is filmed in many different countries in the real world. So as much as the Lord of the Rings films takes us to these fantastical places, there's a syntheticness about it. You know it's CGI. This is a lot of real grit, a lot of real landscape, filming in ruins. Now, the Cyclops, probably not a real... probably some enhancement there for the special effects. But overall, it feels very real and very gritty.
Okay.
And it has that, it's very physical. And the sound is incredible. Now, I would say you don't have to see it on IMAX to get the grandness of this. And if you thought it was going to be stuffy, I got to interview Marquette professor Dr. Leah Flack. She's an English professor. And I was asking her expectations. I was like, do you think it's going to be stuffy? And she said, you have to remember, the Odyssey was never, ever meant to be homework. This is before writing. So think like the medieval minstrels, the oral storytelling. So basically like jesters in ancient courts would tell these stories after dinner and ham them up and embellish them because, you didn't want it off with your head and you kind of wanted the tip jar to go. So these are all stories that kept getting embellished more and more and more about man and the gods. And I will also say that one of the big themes here is controlling your own fate and your own destiny and what drives you. So it's not just an action film. It explores those concepts of humanity.
But all the ingredients are there for Nolan. This is the guy to do this film, I think. You're talking about a guy whose films have grossed over $6 billion globally. It's still a tall task to try and one-up yourself when you've had that much success.
But if you're looking for some fresh air and some cool air this weekend, could do yourself a favor by seeing probably the film of the year, The Odyssey.
I value your opinion on film very much. Remember, we saw Cocaine Bear together a couple of years ago with Greg and Eric. Muddy memories. 1:56 on WTMJ. Got the news coming up in a busy 2 o'clock hour, all straight ahead.
Milwaukee, are you ready? It's time to turn up the tradition. Germanfest Milwaukee returns July 24th through 26th with everything you love and even more to discover. Authentic German food, incredible live entertainment, traditional music and dancing, family fun, the Pink Energy Run, the Ducks Hunt Derby, and backed by popular demand, Vox Club returns to rock Germanfest once again. Then be there Friday, July 24th at 5 p.m. in the Oktoberfest tent for opening ceremonies. We've got a surprise planned that everyone will be talking about. Plus, experience history with the first ever Germanfest Polka Mass, a celebration of faith, music, and tradition unlike anything you've seen before on July 26th. Gather your family, bring your friends, raise a stein, create memories, celebrate culture. July 24th through 26th at the Henry Meyer Festival Park. Get your tickets today at GermanFest.com.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Hey, John Mercure here from From WTMJ, when it's time for a new vehicle, I know exactly where I'm headed. It's the place I bought my last car, and I love it. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha. We buy our vehicles there. Right now is a great time to make your move because Griffin has one of the largest selections of new Ford vehicles in Wisconsin. That means you choose the color, trim, features you want. They're right there on the lot. They don't have to bring the car in from far away. You don't have to wait. Looking for an SUV? Griffin Ford has 47 new Ford Explorers to choose from. Savings over $8,400 on select 2026 Explorer active models. Need a truck? They've got more than 60 of those beautiful Ford F-Series pickups, including the popular F-150. Plus, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 36 months on most new Ford models. And you'll receive a 2-year, 25,000-mile maintenance package included with most new vehicles. Shop at Griffin Ford in Waukesha, where I buy my cars. It's Griffin Ford.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Vacation's over. It's time to get back to work.
The 0-2. Got him looking. 3 straight fastballs at 103 miles an hour, and off we go.
The crew is back in town to take on the Marlins at American Family Field. This series is sponsored by Iron Workers Local 8. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 2. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, July 17th. I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, a stunning suspension narrows the field once again.
I'm Sandy Max in for Jessica Ty. Where will you find the worst wildfire smoke in Wisconsin this afternoon?
Well, it could be in southeast Wisconsin as an air quality alert has been extended until 6 this evening for all of us. Partly cloudy, a low of 75 tonight. Bit of a reprieve early then tomorrow, but a return of that smoke could come late on Saturday with a high of 89. Right now we're at 88 in Milwaukee at 201. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin, Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez ends her campaign for Wisconsin governor after a tumultuous week for the lieutenant governor. It comes days after she fired her campaign manager for campaign financial reporting errors.
As we have continued to dig into our financial reports, it has become clear that there are issues that would be an ongoing distraction, not just for this campaign, but for the primary and for Wisconsin.
Rodriguez, as of now, has not officially endorsed any of the remaining 4 Democratic candidates for the nomination. The partisan primary election is set for August 11th.
A woman is dead after she was shot outside of an apartment in St. Francis.
St. Francis police say they received calls around 6:30 p.m. Thursday reporting a woman lying on the ground in a parking lot outside the Lake Park Apartments who had been shot multiple times. The medical examiner has identified the victim as 32-year-old Kiana Pliska from Cudahy, who died from her injuries in the operating room. A 33-year-old Milwaukee man was taken into custody later in the evening. The circumstances leading up to the shooting are unknown, but there is not a threat to the public. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Marquayne Mullins says a look at voting records in cooperating states reveal hundreds of thousands of ineligible people who are registered to vote.
One thing that I love about numbers and I love about facts is they don't lie. This isn't something that I'm trying to tell you to spin a narrative. This is what is going on.
Mullins sent letters to election officials in 4 states with a warning about non-citizens included on voter rolls. Wisconsin was not on that list.
Iran launches missiles into Middle Eastern nations, including Qatar, a mediator in the war. News Nation's Jessica Cartelia.
Here in Doha, we received reports of incoming missiles. Our phones started beeping, almost like an Amber Alert, very early this morning. And then a short time later, we got another response or another message saying that all was clear and things were safe. The U.S. continues targeting Iranian military infrastructure, and then in that separate operation fired on a ship that it says was attempting to breach the American naval blockade of Iran.
Iranian officials say recent U.S. strikes have killed dozens of people and wounded hundreds, with new casualties.
Our lakeside communities will still be dealing with smoky skies for just a bit longer today. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano earlier today on Midday.
The general wind direction is out of the southwest, which is pushing a lot of the smoke out of the area for most of the region. But right along the lake, there's a little bit of a lake breeze, especially north shore and as you go farther north. And so you're actually creating potentially even heavier smoke for a small period of locations. Again, right along the lake.
Montesano says even as the smoke clears in areas, the air quality still will remain in the red or unhealthy zone. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in about 4 minutes. First, news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Stocks on a day-long decline today, and that continues this hour. The NASDAQ off more than 1%, down 300 points. The Dow is off 0.6%, off 347, and the S&P 500 is down 69 points. That's nearly a percentage loss on the day. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. The Brewers sign a new acquisition, and he's in town today. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Get ready for the Fox exclusive July sale. For 2 weeks only, lock in your favorite dates and rates on all-inclusive resorts and cruises. Fox World Travel has exclusive discounts with Apple vacations to Mexico and the Caribbean, paired with nonstop flights, or go port hopping with Royal Caribbean Cruises. Plus, get combinable cruise discounts you won't find anywhere else. Take a relaxing couples getaway, family fun adventure, or group trip. Book by July 24th. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Dignified services with less expensive fees compared to other fine funeral homes. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun and extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $250 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers and Marlins are slated to begin Game 1 of their 3-game set later today at American Family Field, but air quality will have a likely impact on the affairs. President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger says despite the smoke, the game is still on.
Baseball is not life and death, although sometimes the games feel like it. So, the health and safety of people in the city are the most important paramount concern we have.
While the game is still on, fans who would prefer not to attend tonight will have the option to exchange their tickets for another 2026 regular season home game. Meanwhile, the Crew also announcing the signing of first-round pick out of Corona, California, Trey Ebel. 25th overall in the 2026 MLB draft, the 17-year-old brother of Brewers prospect Brady Ebel, And Trey will be in Baru City tonight taking batting practice with the team. Our coverage begins after the 6 o'clock news here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. And round 2 action continuing with the Open Championship this afternoon, or I guess if you are in England, it is close to evening hours now. Lucas Herbert, the big jumper today, up 38 spots, coming out of seemingly nowhere to take the top spot on the leaderboard, 8 under 62 after a par 70 round on Thursday. Meanwhile, Cameron Young moving 2 spots up to the second spot, tied with Jackson Suber, his fellow American. And it's a 3-way tie with Sam Burns, Bryson DeChambeau, and Ryan Gerard for the 4th spot at 5 under par. This Major Golf Update is brought to you by Morningstar Golf Course. Lush green fairways and velvet smooth greens. Play your next round at Morningstar Golfers Club. Visit golfthestar.com today. To the roads now, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Still got some issues on 43. Pockets of delays as you work south of Capitol Drive. You'll find the first one starting around Keefe and ending around Center. Then a separate one begins just north of Fond du Lac Avenue, south to the Marquette and the High Rise. Had a broken down vehicle that was gumming up the works when it was more in traffic. It's been out of the way now, but there still will be some delays with that. Elsewhere, volume heavy on 4145 south from north of Good Hope Road almost to the Milwaukee-Waukesha County line and stretching south all the way down past Capitol Drive towards Burleigh. Northbound Highway 100 up to Capitol will be a touch slow as well. And then we've still got some slowdowns right around the stadium, American Family Field 94 between 35th and Mitchell Boulevard. You'll be on the brakes there as well.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here is the WTMJ 5-day forecast where we still continue to deal with wildfire smoke. An air quality alert has been extended until 6 p.m. Partly cloudy tonight, low 75. And the weekend, Saturday, early rain, then warm and humid. A potential return of wildfire smoke starting tomorrow afternoon, high 89. Sunday, sunshine, cooler, less humid, high 83. Then Monday, chance for showers and storms, hot and humid, high 90. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high 84. Right now in Milwaukee, it is partly sunny and 88 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts. In for Greg Matzik, it's Adam Roberts. And in for Jessica Ty, it's Sandy Max.
Hour number 3, Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam and Sandy with you until 3 o'clock. Greg and Jessica will be back, the normal duo, on Monday. Got a lot still to get to, a busy 2 o'clock hour, and it starts right now.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Well, it's a little bit of wait and see right now with what's going to happen to the Democratic gubernatorial field. It's down to 4 after Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez dropped out of the race earlier today. Breaking news around the 10 o'clock hour. And so we will see now what happens with the remaining 4. Earlier today, fellow Democrat Joel Brenning, holding a pretty hastily scheduled press conference around noon, says he does plan to stay in the race. You also have State Senator Kelda Roys, who's been making a bit of a media circuit lately, trying to bump up her campaign, as both of those two try to get in the same stratosphere as former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes and Assemblywoman Francesca Hong ahead of the August 11th primary. Earlier today, joined on Midday by political science professor at Marquette, Dr. Julia Azari, who is also keeping her eye on what could come from Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, as multiple reports indicate he could be eyeing a return to the race after the lieutenant governor's dropping out.
I would have told a campaign to do, if they're concerned about electability and they're concerned about the possibility of a more left-wing candidate not being electable. I'm not saying that's valid, but if that's the concern, the last thing you want to do is add in another establishment candidate to split up that vote.
So these multiple reports are indicating that this could hinge, Crowley entering the race back again, on that governor endorsement, and nothing official has come out yet. We haven't heard from the county executive. We haven't heard from the governor. We have heard, interestingly, from former candidate Missy Hughes, who you may recall dropped out of the race and then offered her endorsement to Rodriguez, as did Crowley. Well, Hughes on social media says Crowley should re-enter, calling for him to jump back in. We have reached out to Crowley and his team, perhaps not surprisingly, a bit mum right now from their camp, but we are watching closely as we have just a few weeks to go till the primary, and a lot can change, as we've seen in a short period of time.
And we know we have WTMJ teammates and newsroom working their sources to find out the latest.
Yes, we certainly do.
The top 2 at 2, number 2. Feels like a furnace, smells like a fireplace. That's what it's been like here in southeastern Wisconsin as we've been dealing with one of the worst wildfire smoke events on record. Smoke from Canadian wildfires continues to drift across our Great Lakes region. Thursday, Milwaukee's air quality index peaked 644, the highest ever recorded in the city. Stays at this hazardous range this morning. It is starting to dissipate a bit. WTMJ Chief Meteorologist Craig Copleen is going to join us in just a couple minutes to tell us about the gradual improvement and also the gradual return expected this weekend of some of this unhealthy smoke.
2:13 on WTMJ. We check in with Mr. Copleen up next.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I will be on the Fix It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here, hoping you'll join me on Saturdays at 1 o'clock for Experience Wisconsin. We do it each and every Saturday, checking in with some of the places across our state. They're cool. They're fun. Our great state has so much to offer, and we're going to take you there. This week, we are joined by Road America and the Racine Zoo. Gonna be fun. It's Experience Wisconsin. It's Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ. Let us help plan your next trip.
It was about this time yesterday afternoon. I was refreshing the air quality app that I have recently downloaded on my phone. Hadn't really touched it for about 3 years since our last major smoke event, and I was shocked to see record-setting numbers. It was around this time we confirmed that yesterday set a record for the worst air quality in the city of Milwaukee's history. Now, those records only go back to about the 1980s, I believe, so if you were to look back on the old days, maybe there were some even worse days we don't even know about, but still, a 46-year record is a pretty wide dearth of information. So to say it was the worst, that still takes quite a bit. And you and I were both out and about in it, Sandy. We live in it, as we all do, and it was and is still awful.
I walked out of WTMJ into the parking lot at 11 p.m. on Wednesday night and immediately smelled like, is that something in 3rd Street Market Hall? Like, is something actually on fire? I'm like, oh my gosh, those are the Canadian wildfires. So, and by the time I drove home with my windows closed, 20 minutes later, my eyes were itching. So it was, when it got here, it arrived.
And I'm glad you mentioned the eye itch, because I was saying to you earlier, even if you're a healthy, able-bodied individual, anyone cannot escape the eye itch. Mm-hmm. That's been the symptom I hear everyone talking about. I will say, as I've been out biking to and from, I have been masking up. That I just kind of have to, just to get some clearance in my air system. And I have seen today more so than yesterday, which is ironic considering it's a little bit better today. People are putting the masks on, both inside and out.
May I recommend ski goggles?
Ooh.
Ski goggles could help you.
And potentially, I have to work with my glasses a little bit, so I need some pretty big goggles. Someone else bespectacled joining the chat right now on our YouTube live stream, WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen. You can see Craig and us here in the studios if you text WATCH. Craig, how are your eyeballs holding up? Has it been a rough go for you over there as well?
Same. Everything you've described that happened over the last 36 hours, I experienced too. You know, the smell was just almost unbelievable the other night when the smoke moved in, and it moved in quickly. That first evening, I got home from work about 5 o'clock or so, went out to the mailbox, didn't smell anything. And by the time I went out at 7:30, it smelled like a fireplace, like you referred to just before the break. It was crazy how quickly it moved in and how strong the smell was.
So as fast as it arrived, Craig, it's going to take its time leaving, it seems.
Yeah, we're in the improvement phase right now. It's been happening very slowly, but really all day long, sort of gradually, hour by hour, we've seen that air quality index start to go down, indicating an improvement of the air quality. And that trend's going to continue through the rest of the day and through tonight. By this evening, and especially late tonight, the air quality is going to be as good as it's been since this whole thing began. And it'll probably continue to be that way through the very early part of the day tomorrow. But this weekend is going to be a story of ups and downs, or improvements and then disimprovements, if you will. We're on the improvement side now. But it does look like tomorrow, again, Adam and Sandy, we start to go in the wrong direction as the smoke increases once again.
We would have also accepted deprovement, even if it's not a word. We can make it one here on Wisconsin's Midday News. Craig, I remember yesterday I was asking you, well, what's causing it to move this way? Is it the wind? And yes, obviously the wind very much is a factor here, but also the jet stream. We were talking earlier that it is positioned, if you look on the maps and the projections beyond just your normal radar, it's in a spot right now where it's just basically a beeline from where these fires are burning, Northwest Ontario, Dryden, St. Francis area, International Falls, Minnesota, and just kind of zooping it right down into the Great Lakes. In fact, we've thrown up on our live stream right now the indications from the Department of Natural Resources where the heaviest stuff is going to be for the rest of this alert. And you can see it's right along most of our lakefront communities where it is going to hang. How does the jet stream basically dictate what's going to be happening today and for the days to come?
Well, it's the wind. It's a wind speed sort of in combination from the ground here where we live all the way up several thousand feet in the air where the jet stream is. And the wind can be blowing in different directions here versus 5,000 feet up versus 10, 20,000 feet up. So initially, when you get these forest fires that are going on in Minnesota and Canada, the smoke goes very, very high and it can get into that jet stream. And as you said, as it's been blowing for the most part from the northwest to the southeast, it's carried it right down here across Wisconsin. And then as we get mixing of these various layers of the atmosphere each day, some of that smoke then descends back down here closer to where we are. That's what we had yesterday when it was so bad. The surface winds today have moved now from the west and southwest. So that's allowed the smoke that's down here where we are to be pushed out over Lake Michigan, or at least that's what's been happening gradually through the day. Unfortunately, for tomorrow and tomorrow night, those winds are going to switch once again to start coming more out of the northwest, bringing new smoke into the area. So it's not that the smoke that we had yesterday is coming back. That smoke's going to be long gone, but this is new smoke from ongoing fires that's going to move in tomorrow and tomorrow night.
And we're trying to make plans for the weekend and trying to be sensitive to everything, and also keeping an eye on the WTMJ Sighting Unlimited talk and text line, getting reports that Bayside is hazier, still pretty hazy in Beloit. So we've got, seems like pockets maybe west that are clearing up, but like you're saying, there's going to be a fresh batch of smoke. But let's talk about the health level. For example, Oak Creek Dog Days in Drexel Square, Saturday evening and Sunday, they posted on their Facebook that if the air quality is 200 or more, they will cancel the event. So they're keeping an eye on it. So do you think we will get below 200 over the weekend?
Well, I think we are or will be across most of the area this afternoon and tonight, and maybe even early tomorrow morning. The issue, though, is I think it goes back above 200. If not during the day tomorrow or tomorrow afternoon, it's going to go back above 200 tomorrow night. And it'll probably be that way until first thing on Sunday morning. On Sunday, there's some question as to whether it stays that high, the air quality index, and whether we remain in a real unhealthy situation on Sunday, or whether we go back again the other way on Sunday and see some improvement. So I'm sort of on the fence in terms of exactly what to expect on Sunday, but I can say that right now through tonight, we're in the improving phase. Tomorrow, we go the wrong direction again as smoke increases, and it probably peaks tomorrow night. So if you're out tomorrow night, or folks who have events outdoors tomorrow night, those are ones that I think probably organizers are going to look at hard to determine whether they want to hold them or not. And then Sunday is going to be a tough call. I think we're going to have to wait another 6-12 hours before we have a real firm grasp on whether we're going to get improvement again on Sunday, or whether bad conditions are going to linger another day.
I know a lot of people, as we're talking about events, will they, won't they, are keeping an eye on the Brewers as well. We did hear today that, at least as far as they're concerned, plans are to move forward as scheduled tonight. But I want to bring it up to you, Craig, because these aren't easy decisions to make. When it's rain, you have a roof over your stadium. It doesn't really matter much, but what American Family Field separates it is that when that roof is closed, you still have to ventilate air through and through. They don't have air conditioning. They don't have that kind of a system. So you figure the panels have to be open, even if you were to theoretically close the roof. And then when it's 90 degrees, that's an awful idea because it turns into a sauna in there. You've also, meanwhile, got the FIFA World Cup final this weekend in an open air stadium in New York, which is also dealing with basically the same shunting of air that we are. So how tough is it for these groups to have to make these kinds of decisions, given that everyone wants to watch sports, but you got to think of health too?
I think it's really tough for the organizers to decide whether they're going to hold their events or not. And I advise them to, follow the science, follow what you're hearing from local health officials and from the National Weather Service and the DNR and all that sort of thing. But beyond that, I think it really falls to each and every individual in terms of whether they want to attend an outdoor event. That's really where the decision should lie with each and every one of us. Do I feel comfortable going out and experiencing an outdoor event this weekend, or don't I? Do I have an underlying health condition? Do I have a respiratory or heart condition that can be easily exacerbated by these poor air quality conditions? If that's the case, I think people need to make decisions for themselves to say, you know what, I got to pass on the Brewers game, or I've got to pass on this festival, Saturday night or maybe Sunday. For folks who are otherwise very healthy, maybe it's more of a nuisance. It's just that, it's just the nasty smell or the haze in the air. But so I understand your point about the organizers of events, having a tough decision to make. It's also, to each and every person out there to decide, how comfortable do I feel about being out, and how well, what's my personal health condition like in terms of dealing with poor air quality.
And Craig, since we see on the advisory map that really the smoke is going to be on the lake shore and way up north in Wisconsin, where can we go in Wisconsin to find some fresh air tomorrow?
Well, I think most of the state will have fresh air tomorrow, at least early in the morning, with the exception of maybe right up along Lake Superior in far northern Wisconsin. As the day goes on, the freshest air will be in the southwest part of the state, from Madison west to Prairie du Chien, maybe north to La Crosse. That's the area where the smoke tomorrow afternoon will increase the least, or the slowest. Southwestern Wisconsin tomorrow. All the rest of us will see a more substantial increase.
WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen. Stay safe, stay healthy, Craig. We'll talk to you soon.
Nice talking with you.
227 News is next.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
More savings for more Club Rewards members. Join today and unlock exclusive deals at your local Tysons. Every month, members save big on customer favorites and seasonal must-haves, plus earn 1% back on every purchase. This month, enjoy special savings on a Caravan canopy, an Aqua Pro inflatable dock, a Beyond Breeze fan, Valspar medallion paints, and more. Not a member yet? Sign up for free at Tysons.com and start saving today. Offers end July 31st in store only.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.
2:30 on Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 17th. I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, who's still in the race for governor?
I'm Sandy Max. When we can see relief from the wildfire smoke.
Well, the air quality alert extended until 6 p.m., a low of 77 tonight. Could see some pop-up storms tomorrow with a high of 89 before the smoke returns.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot.
Department of Homeland Security, we've identified 250,000 non-citizens registered to vote in just 4 states.
DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullins demanding states investigate voting, showing no evidence of non-citizen voting, threatening to pull money and criminally charge election officials in states that don't cooperate. Canada needs help.
We have over 100 aircraft in the air, combinations of helicopter water bombers and airplane water bombers as well.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford, his country has only enough fire crews to fight 1/6 of the nearly 900 wildfires blowing smoke across the continent. FIFA monitoring the air over New Jersey for Sunday's World Cup final. Major escalation of the Iran war, the U.S. targeting civilian infrastructure, hitting bridges and a major railway station in Iran. Global oil, $88 a barrel. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. Decision Wisconsin, another shakeup in the state's governor's race as Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez ends her campaign, coming after scrutiny into her campaign finance reports forced her to fire her campaign manager.
I am deeply hurt and betrayed by what happened. As I said on Monday, part of being a leader is taking swift action, doing the right thing, and being as honest as possible when there's a problem.
The partisan primary election now less than 1 month away, and Rodriguez's departure leaves 4 candidates on the Democratic side to face Republican frontrunner Congressman Tom Tiffany.
Funeral arrangements are now set for the late Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow. Waukesha County is welcoming the public to a visitation celebration of life on August 6th. The event will be held at the Waukesha County Expo Center starting at 4:30 p.m. His funeral is set for August 12th in Brookfield. Farrow passed away on July 7th after a battle with rare cancer. He was 61, and today would have been his 62nd birthday.
A gentleman's club in Franklin will be losing its license after a years-long prostitution and sex trafficking investigation. After hours of testimony Thursday night, the Franklin Common Council voting 3-2 to revoke On the Border's liquor and entertainment licenses. Nick Serwin representing the Franklin Police Department.
It can't and it won't get fixed in a short period of time just because of a change of ownership. This place has a reputation for these conducts and this stuff going on. People are still asking to do it. The officers are still investigating. It is ongoing.
General Manager for On the Border, Brian Hopkins, faces a felony charge for keeping a place of prostitution as part of a larger human trafficking investigation.
25 arrests on Wisconsin's waterways during Operation Dry Water over the July 4th holiday weekend.
The efforts are part of the Wisconsin DNR's effort to ensure safe waterways. Wardens also issued nearly 900 warnings and over 200 citations for boating safety violations. They also saved a woman's life on the Eagle River chain after she drunkenly fell off a boat without a life jacket. Wardens also assisted sheriff's deputies in Racine County after severe storms caused damage on July 3rd. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
And the wildfire smoke will finally leave southeast Wisconsin later tonight, but it won't be gone for too long. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano earlier on Midday tells us when we can expect the next round.
By Saturday, we'll see more smoke move into the area. Initially, not as bad, but the latest models for Sunday morning definitely concern us as we might see some of that hazardous smoke return because it's looking like it could be even heavier.
Montesano adding, with cooler temperatures in the forecast, winds will be out of the north where the wildfires are burning in Canada and Minnesota. We'll have your complete forecast coming up in about 4 minutes.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Are you sick and tired of overpriced fish fries? I am. I recommend the fish fry at the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure. The haddock fish fry is all you can eat, $8.99. You'll pay twice that at other restaurants. I love the Mine Shaft fish fry. After a long week, escape from your kitchen with a cold beverage and a delicious all-you-can-eat fish fry. Desserts are buy one, get one free, and a kids menu starts at $3.99. And those kids can safely play in the world-class game room, quietly set away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. Take your family to the Mine Shaft today for the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry at just $8.99. It's an incredible value. That's a crazy low price. The Saturday breakfast buffet is all you can eat for under $10. The Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford, lots of seating, lots of close parking. Also in Oshkosh near the EAA. Dig into that all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry today. Serving from 10:30. Arrive early, beat the rush. Google the Mine Shaft restaurant and enjoy that fish fry.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry from Point Taken on 620 WTMJ. You know, in radio, people hear your voice first. But when I'm out in the community, meeting listeners or hosting events, I'm told that my smile is my signature. That's why I trust Dr. James Michaels and the team at Economawalk Dental Care with my smile. And yes, I drive all the way from Milwaukee to Economawalk to see Dr. Michaels and his incredible staff. Because when you find a dental team that makes you feel comfortable, listened to, and cared for, that drive is worth it. Dr. Michaels has been practicing in Economawalk for more than 25 years. And his approach is simple. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Whether you're due for a cleaning, thinking about cosmetic options, or just need a dental home where you feel at ease, call Economawalk Dental Care at 262-567-7224. That's 262-567-7224, or visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. Economawalk Dental Care with Dr. James Michaels, the team I trust with my smile.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers, current holders of the second best record in baseball, they start the second half of the season tonight. 9-game homestand opening up with 3 against the Marlins. But the Brewers also keeping an eye on the air quality situation.
Baseball is not life and death, although sometimes the games feel like it. So, the health and safety of people in the city are the most important paramount concern we have.
That's President of Operations Rick Schlesinger telling Wisconsin's Morning News the game is planned as scheduled tonight, although MLB will have the final say. Our coverage starts after the 6 o'clock news here on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. And round 2 action wrapping up in England at Royal Birkdale in the Open Championship. The Australian Lucas Herbert with the big jump of the day up to the top of the leaderboard, an 8 under 62. Bryson DeChambeau actually making a little bit of a leap himself. He was hanging around that tie for 4th, now at 7 under par, holding the 2 spot on the leaderboard. This golf update sponsored by Morningstar Golfers Club, lush green fairways, and velvet smooth greens. Play your next round at Morningstar. Visit golfthestar.com today. The roads now, your WTMJ time saver traffic. Southbound 4145 beginning just north of Good Hope and down to Capitol will be slow through construction. Northbound delays begin around Highway 100 and go up towards about Silver Spring. Southbound 43 delays start just south of Brown Deer Road and they end around Bender, then pick back up again once you get south of Capitol Drive through the Marquette towards the high-rise bridge. Starting to see a little bit of volume building on 894 west out of the Mitchell towards Loomis and right around American Family Field. Might be some eager beavers already trying to get into the ballpark ahead of the game tonight. It will be a slow ride between 27th Street and Mitchell Boulevard, either direction.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, the air quality alert extended until 6 p.m. And tonight, smoke will move north and dissipate. Any pop-up showers from the afternoon will fade, low 77. And tomorrow, a few pop-up showers in the mid-morning as a cold front pushes south, which will bring wildfire smoke again tomorrow afternoon, high 89. Sunday, wildfire smoke will amp up with potentially worse conditions than we had yesterday, high 81. And Monday, smoke still a key player in the forecast. Hot, humid afternoon storms, high 91. And Tuesday weather, sunshine, breezy northwest winds, high 83. Right now in Milwaukee, partly sunny and 88 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:39.
Well, it seemed like not all that long ago, the Democratic gubernatorial race, to put it mildly, kind of felt a little bit like a snooze fest. We didn't have a whole lot of punches being thrown. It was just kind of a slow walk up to the month of July. And then these last few weeks, oh boy, what in the world has happened here? We've had multiple candidates drop out, including one today. Could one of those dropouts get back into the race?
Musical chairs.
Could they get a governor's endorsement? What in the world? Now, speaking of eager beavers, Jesse Apoyan, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel political reporter with us. Jesse, I was texting you earlier. I have to imagine, were running all over the place given the moves we've seen with the lieutenant governor dropping out and potentially a county executive, David Crowley, re-entry. What is going on?
Yeah, I think I've lived more on the phone this week than not at this point. It's been quite the scramble. We saw, in the span of a week, saw Sarah Rodriguez appearing to have a lot of momentum moving forward, picking up, David Crowley's endorsements after already having Missy Hughes, having some big unions get on board with her last week. In a matter of days, she announces she's fired her campaign manager. She's doesn't really know what her financial situation is, but it's not good. They were going into this week, I think, talking about trying to rebuild that back. And then this morning, very quick succession, she got out. We started hearing talk of David Crowley maybe getting back in, with the governor potentially interested in making that happen.
So on that, I'll ask you first. We're hearing a lot of unconfirmed stuff right now. It's basically through just sourced reporting at this point. Neither of those two camps, Crowley's or Evers, have said anything on the record. Is this potentially something that could happen without a governor's endorsement for County Executive Crowley to get back in? Because the table's been basically laid out. You wouldn't normally expect someone who's already dropped out to re-enter, but when the candidate you endorsed had everything that's happened to her this past week, the door is open. But could it happen without even a governor's endorsement, or is that kind of the hinge factor here?
It feels to me that that's likely the hinge. I think you had Democrats saying this as soon as we found out about Sarah Rodriguez's financial situation, they were saying, did David Crowley know the full picture of what was going on, when he decided to get on board? Obviously, a lot of things came out in the following days. So, one thing that we looked at this week is the finance reports that were filed on Wednesday, looking at just the first 6 months of this year. David Crowley ended up having about $300,000 cash on hand, which put him sort of in the middle of the pack. Definitely not at the bottom in terms of just the money that he has in his campaign account, which I think first started to spark some of those conversations of maybe there's something that can be revived from this. But I don't want to speculate too much, but I guess I would be surprised if he got in without the governor's endorsement.
Not asking for speculation, but just absolutely your perspective now that we have this turn of events, Sarah Rodriguez dropping out, Mandela Barnes, Francesca Hong, Joel Brennan, and Kelda Roy still in the race. Who benefits most from this announcement, taking David Crowley out of it?
The announcement of Sarah Rodriguez getting out. I think it is probably Kelda Royce and Joel Brennan who have the most to gain from that, just because they were coming in behind her. I think Francesca Hong is still the likely front runner here, just based on the grassroots support that we're seeing, the fact that she did raise a pretty sizable chunk of money in these last 6 months. So I think it's any candidate who's trying to convince labor unions, endorsers, donors that their money would be better spent with someone like a Kelda Royce or a Joel Brennan as they're hanging in the air after the aftermath of the Rodriguez campaign.
Well, we got the release from Kelda's camp, at least, and if I'm reading into it right, I'm assuming, Jesse, you've seen this. I don't want to assume, but it came in about roughly 20 minutes ago, basically labeling herself and State Representative Hong as the two candidates in this race, leaving out Barnes and Brennan. And then Brennan earlier today holding his presser saying, I'm still in it, and the race you were reporting on a week ago is completely turned on its head. I asked a couple of people earlier, I'll ask you the same question. Does this remain, in your eyes, this wide gap that we've seen between Mandela and Francesca and the field, or now that someone who was garnering a lot of establishment attention is out, has that gap considerably narrowed where these two actually have a shot now?
It's still a lot to overcome. One thing I would note, and I haven't seen a lot of these numbers myself, but there's a lot of conversation about where Mandela Barnes stands in this race and whether his stock has dropped pretty significantly since he got in, and whether he's really in that top tier status with Francesca Hong, or if there's more ground to be made up with, if it's more of an even scramble, among the rest of the field. There is a moment for Kelda and Joel that did not exist a week ago, that's for sure.
Talk about the timing for this, because the primary is August 11th. It's coming up quickly. So how fast do all of these moves have to be made?
Really fast. I wouldn't be surprised if we know what's happening, at least in terms of what David Crowley is going to do by the end of the day or tomorrow. That's the sort of the timeline that we're in. And from there, does that dramatically change the course of things? Do people start following those calls to drop out, or does it continue to play out the way that it is right now?
Which is interesting, too, because I'm something of a skeptic. You kind of get that bug when you get into the reporting world. Jesse, I'm sure you're very aware, but I find it interesting if, again, this is a little bit speculative, but if Crowley were to re-enter, doing so on a Saturday would seem to be a bit odd and it would go a bit against the normal, I hate to say news cycle, but doing something on a Friday versus maybe on a Saturday would attract a little less attention, no?
This is true. There's a news cycle to think about, but there's also the donors, the endorsements. Every second counts at this point because of, as you mentioned, it's less than a month away. So any second that you haven't, claimed one of those for yourself, they could be going to somebody else. And I know all of those candidates are making those calls behind the scenes, trying to pick up the support from, Sarah Rodriguez, and also to try to win over people who are, with other folks. So I think, rather than wait for a Monday or something like that, if he were going to do it, he'd need to do it in these next hours.
This is one of those times where you get at the popcorn and you just watch everything, all the drama unfold around you.
It has been entertaining, if nothing else.
As I imagine your phone is blowing up and that you're making the outreach as well. So I think you're not going to have a quiet weekend either, no matter what gets announced, even if things get announced today.
Any of us who made the mistake of saying this has been a quiet race are just eating our words right now.
Yeah, I'm certainly am myself. Before we let you go, Jesse, I did want to look on the other side of things here quickly as well. The Republican field of essentially one. I know Andy Mansky is officially in, but this is Tom Tiffany's race when all is said and done. He's got to be sitting pretty cozy right now. Those numbers you mentioned, he's got about as wide of a gap between himself and basically the entire field here. Does he need to make any moves right now? Does he need to make maybe a little bit more of a statement for himself? Or is it basically just let the Democratic Party infight and I'm going to sit over here and sip an old fashioned and just wait for August 11th?
Yeah, what's the phrase Republicans love to use? Democrats in disarray. I think they get to enjoy those old fashions, fish fries for the weekend, sit back, watch this play out. Tiffany's got a pretty good amount of money. A lot of that came from the Republican Party of Wisconsin, but it doesn't matter where it came from. He's got the money. He's introducing himself, running those biographical ads. And if I were him, and I think what we're seeing is he will comment on the dysfunction of all of it, but no need to do a whole lot more than that.
Jesse Aployne with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Thank you for joining us amidst what has been, I keep saying the word whirlwind over and over again, but it's true. Thanks so much, Jesse, for hopping on.
Thanks for having me.
2:48 on WTMJ. Yeah, as we wait now, Sandy, there's still so much that has yet to happen. A lot of unknowns for sure. And the Crowley factor is real. And I'll say it again. I can't recall at any point in political campaigns I've seen where someone exited the race, doing so, handing off their endorsement to someone else, and then in the span of a week was suddenly back in, basically wiping the hard drive like none of that ever happened. And then not to mention, a lot of this hinges on a man who has said, I'm not offering my endorsement to anyone, even though there are multiple people who were in my cabinet, in Brennan and Rodriguez, that I could. I'm not offering my endorsement, but I'll offer it to you, the guy who was out. It's a lot to unpack. And again, I have to think for the Republicans, this is about exactly what they could have hoped for sitting here about 3 weeks away from that primary.
Yeah, watching all of the puzzle pieces arrange and rearrange and the scurrying that is going on. And also interesting to observe Sarah Rodriguez's, I won't call it a scandal, but, the campaign management change, and that thinking that, okay, surmounted that challenge. And now, as of this morning at about 9 a.m., changing that decision and now out of the race.
It's always a good reminder, if you're hearing a politician speak, read beyond the words, read their body language, read their facial expressions. That press conference on Monday, just personally, I gleaned a lot from it, and I could kind of tell even in that moment, it was not looking great. There were going to be a big mountain to overcome for her, and clearly that was not able to be done. 2:49 on WTMJ. We'll wrap it up after this.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Outstanding. As we've grown tremendously and you guys have still been able to meet our needs, each step of our growth, that's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof, those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, This is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
I'm Vince Vitrano, joined today by Dr. Corey Casper from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
So we treat a lot of joint issues, cartilage issues, also issues with tendons. So if you've got a knee that's just been bugging you, and maybe you've seen a doctor or two and they haven't given you many options outside of some steroid injections or surgery, that's where we come in and find other treatment options that may help your knee feel better.
Get started online now at orthowisconsin.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Well, the smoke is moving around, if slowly. We should get some relief, especially for our western counties this afternoon and evening, a low of 77. Then the smoke is expected to return for your Saturday, especially in the afternoon. A high of 89. We'll really have to watch out for Sunday as well. 81 the high, but the smoke could gum up the works a bit in the area. Right now, 88 with a haze and smoke in Milwaukee at 253. Wrapping it up here on a Friday, Adam and Sandy, Greg and Jessica back with you next week, Monday. And as we continue talking about this smoke, a lot of people, busy Milwaukee weekend as always. You got festivals, you've got fairs, you got people who just want to be outside.
Yeah, this is the time we wait for all winter long. It's anticlimactic. And like in wintertime, you want to be around your fireplace and smell that wonderful wood. We're smelling it way too much and feeling it way too much. And as your host of What's on Tap and covering that culture and arts beat, and then I also do the weekend trend preview on Thursday morning. So it's fun to go through the whole list. And River West Blueberry Fest, the Falls Lavender Fest, you got Port Fish Days, Armenian Fest. There's so many outdoor festivals and gallery night. There's Eastside Gallery Night scheduled for tonight. There are just so many fun outdoor activities. So I would highly recommend checking their social media. That seems to be one of the most reliable ways to get updates. For example, Sebastian Bach of Skid Row will not be performing tonight at the Waukesha County Fair due to the air quality index.
I was wondering about the stroke show that was coming up this weekend.
But exactly, at American Family Insurance Amphitheater. So that's tomorrow night. So that's going to be your best bet. And then for the animals around, Oak Creek Dog Days at Drexeltown Square is scheduled for tomorrow evening and Sunday during the day. They posted on social media that they're monitoring the air quality, and if it's 200 or more, they plan to cancel the event. So I like that here's our baseline, and then that's the empirical data. Milwaukee County Zoo has already moved some of the animals indoors. If you still want to go to the zoo, you could still go to the aviary, see the big cats and the apes and the elephants, so there's still stuff to enjoy. But I think a lot of those events shifting inside, and keep an eye on the Milwaukee Brewers. Again, tonight, they are having the game as planned, as scheduled, but they are offering ticket exchanges for fans who can't attend the game due to health issues. And you can swap out your ticket for a different 2026 game. And considering that the smoke, although it will hopefully dissipate this afternoon, is expected to come back tomorrow night, according to Craig Copleen. So check all of your social media sites. And I will leave you with this, Adam. Boy, I hope it sounds like the weather will be a little lighter smoke-wise in the Madison area, which means tomorrow's Pickle Palooza Food and Drink Festival at Breeze Stevens Field will still hopefully go on. Pickle eating and brine chugging contest, ride the mechanical pickle, and so much more. So I hope that does not get canceled.
I think you and many others. We're happy to have you along here on Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam and Sandy, our thanks to Gina as well for keeping us right on track. Wisconsin's Afternoon News with you till 6 o'clock before Brewers baseball here on WTMJ. The news is next.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. Joint pain is awful. We all know that, right? And I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you have a loved one who struggles with a bad knee or a back and doesn't even know what to do about it. Instead, they cancel plans and they sit things out. Well, QC Kinetics can help bring that life